It's the Orioles on Masson and the Little Leaguers on hand to see if the Orioles can sweep the Red Sox in this three-game set as the O's play, while it's not officially summer, on a very summer-like Sunday afternoon. We'll talk about the Little Leaguers and the players that greeted them as we move along in our ball game. Can the O's do it? We'll see today. They've already surprised a lot of people as they've come away with a couple of wins in this series, the first two. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. The Orioles came into this series against the Red Sox scoring the fewest runs at home in all of Major League Baseball, about 2.5 a ball game. Well, not last night. They ended up with a 12-9 win. And for the Orioles, the big names were again involved in getting it done. Ty Wigginton, a magnificent start to this season. His seventh home run came early in the ball game. The Orioles did not have a three-run homer on the season. Wieters didn't have one either. He took care of both of those things with that dinger. And then Wigginton came back again. A multi-homer game, his second of the season, the 11th of his career. And the Orioles came away with season highs in runs, home runs, 6-run inning, 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Markakis tied his career high 5 RBIs, and Ty Wigginton with the 2 dingers. Jim, just lots of offense up and down last night.
Yeah, and if you look at the last 2 games, Gary, and they've outplayed them defensively. They've run the bases better. They've out-hit them. The pitching pretty shaky because you're talking about the Red Sox 12th run average in both the bullpen and the starters. Orioles 11th in starters and the bullpen. And the one key to beating the Red Sox, especially the way Papelbon has pitched against him, keep him exactly where he's been in the last 2 games out in the bullpen because, he's got incredible numbers.
So the Orioles against the Red Sox this season have had the better of the numbers. We'll go through those with you as they look for the sweep. The O's take the field back for the Sunday afternoon ball game after this. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. 87 degrees at game time here at Camden Yards. A very gentle breeze, if any, blowing out towards center. And it is a summer-like Sunday afternoon as the Orioles look for their 7th win and a sweep. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Red Sox, late change today. It'll be Scudero, Pedroia, and Drool. Lowell is in. Youkilis is out. Ortiz, Beltre, Veritek, McDonald, and Van Every. Mike Lowell against Millwood. Some big numbers.
So Kevin Millwood, the scouting report, tough luck. He has pitched pretty well, and 3-2-2, 1-2-2 runs. Not a lot of support. Very good. Let's do recent history. Lifetime, he's 6-4, but last year Very good year for the Rangers, 2-0, 145 against the Sox, and he can pitch. He's not a thrower. He's got an idea. He's got a game plan. He'll usually have somebody sit out in the bullpen, stand up there, and it'll be Pedroia or Drew, and he'll go through his reps. And again, I think it's just a matter of, again, getting him some run support and do it early so he can actually relax. Hasn't had in 5 starts. They've all been tough games because of the lack of run support.
The Orioles come in 6-18, 11 behind Tampa Bay. The Red Sox are 11-13, 6 behind. Red Sox have lost 2 in a row that came in this series. They conclude a road trip. They had started with a sweep at the start of this road trip, and now the Orioles are looking to do the same thing to them. Here is Marco Scutaro in the leadoff spot. 5-game hit streak to start this Sunday. Millwood's pitch to him is up high, and we are underway. The Orioles, veteran, 35 years old, 74% of leadoff batters retired so far this season. Very high number. 1-0 delivery to Scutaro, and that's taken on the outside corner for a strike. Scutaro backs off and turns back to Chad Fairchild as Fairchild looks to the Red Sox dugout.
Well, you're going to find out early what the strike zone is, and the ball was high early, and the second one was probably low. But still, maybe a lower strike will be favored. Not out the outside corner though.
Brings the infield charging as Scutaro squared around a bit. Scutaro at 287 in that leadoff spot with Jacoby Ellsbury out and not knowing when he will return. And Scutaro, once he got in there, has done a pretty darn good job in about 15 games now. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss outside by Millwood, and the count will go to 3-1.
Yeah, Scutaro becomes an entirely different hitter when you fall behind. He's a great high ball hitter, even though this year he's just hitting well. In particular, down and away, he'll go to right field, but now he can look for a ball to drive in the middle of the plate versus spraying a hit the other way.
Takes it.
Oh,
and he's on.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to be a pretty tight zone right here. Millwood did exactly what he didn't want to do, and of course you don't like to walk guys when you have your defensive Reimold, Jones, and Markakis. That's the outfield. Tejada, who started third base with the glove last night. Lugo, Wigington. You take a look right here. It gets Brad Bergeson, who's really struggling off the field. And again, it's probably as well playing third base as I've seen him all year long. So hopefully feeling more comfortable over there.
Big play in the ball game. It's the game, even though it was 12-9, it was a close game that was not done until, as Yogi said, it was over. A strike on Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia's had a 2-for-9 with a homer and 2 RBIs in this series. The 287 mark for him, 8 doubles, 6 home runs, and 18 RBIs. Very productive start for him. Millwood with a runner at first, fouled away. This has been a very good inning for Kevin Millwood. This season, in the previous 5 starts, no runs in the first inning and only 1 hit. How important are the first pitch strikes? After the 0-1, a 196 average, 1-0 count, it jumps to 304. That's a team number. Scutaro just kind of standing around there, now extends the lead at first. The 0-2 pitch fouled away again.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little running lead. And last year he stole 14 bases. But the problem, at least over the last couple of games, has not been their offense. They just need to have their starting pitcher. In fact, in general, the ERA now over 5 runs a game. So Terry Francona, he has a contact guy. It's not a good count at 0-2, but if you do have a little speed, I think there's a tendency maybe to overreact. You just need to get good starting pitching, and then everything will fall into place. Then you can run.
0-2 delivery runner not going, and that's looped into center field for a base hit. So just the second hit off Millwood in 6 games in the first inning. Pedroia gets it, and the Red Sox get a chance here. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, the one thing about Dustin Pedroia is that you're not as good a consistent player as he is if you have amnesia when you forget about last night at 0-for-5. And he had a real good pitch into center field. And it's, again, what's your approach with 2 strikes? Are you going to hack, or are you just going to try to make contact? He makes contact and gets the base hit. Now
it'll bring up J.D. Drew, part of the home run barrage that took place in the ballgame last night. J.D. Drew has hit 2 of them in this series. He's 3 for 8, and he has 3 RBIs. Drew got the home runs in game 1, foul back into the screen, and Millwood needs to go to work early. We showed you the team numbers regarding the count. The numbers for Millwood in that department, when he gets ahead on the count 0-1, teams hit 254 off him. If he falls behind 1-0, teams hit 283. Not as big a break as the whole team has, nevertheless significant. Pops that one up. Very high sky, a lot of haze. Tejada will look at that one, go back into the seats.
Yeah, you really need to help each other out defensively. There's that slight breeze you talked about.
It will be an adventure on fly balls today.
A lot of good numbers for the Red Sox hitters against Millwood. Drew's one of them. Over 300, 10 for 23 with a home run.
323 lifetime off Millwood. Kevin Youkilis is not in the ball game, as we said. He was going to start in the cleanup hole. One of the biggest numbers of all. Gets him on a strikeout. Big K for Millwood.
Well, he threw that pitch with conviction. And there's a difference between being ahead at 0-2 and again right on the corner. Drew thinks it's inside. He just gets paralyzed on a knee-high, right on the black fastball. Terrific pitch.
J.D. Drew among the top 5 in strikeouts in the American League coming into the ball game. And there's another one. That'll be number 28 for Drew. Here is Mike Lowell. He has not played in this series. He moves up to the cleanup spot. When Youkilis came out, they changed the lineup this afternoon prior to the game. Youkilis has a sore groin, resulted in a play last night in the game. So he took some practice in the cage, hit in the cage today, but Youkilis then said So there's Kevin Youkilis watching.
And you know he's not happy about missing this when you've lost the first 2 games of the series.
Mike Lowell's got a 344 batting average against Millwood with 2 home runs. One of the many Jim was talking about in this lineup who has hit Kevin Millwood hard over the years.
Yeah, even though his lifetime record at 6-4 with a very low ERA under 4 runs a game, it's remarkable.
2-0 delivery on the way. Lowell.
Yeah, well, they
hesitate on that one.
Yeah, there's your pitch. 2-0, middle of the plate, but a little extra. You know, we talked about Dice K, how he really pitches around the periphery of the strike zone. That's what Kevin Millwood tries to do. I mean, he'll throw you strike 1, and then he wants to work right to the corners with a array of pitches. The 2-seamer, the slider, the changeup, big curveball on occasion.
Lowell will take that. It is on the corner for a strike. And boy, there's going to be a lot of discussion with hitters and home plate umpire Chad Fairchild today.
Well, it's going to be a low strike zone. And real low. Big difference between being 3-1 and 2-2.
That's where Lowell doesn't argue on it. He just turns around and says, I can't hit that. 2-2 delivery. Runners go. Throw down to third, and he is out. Marco Scudero Tejada got in, and Greg Tatum, making just his 3rd start behind the plate, guns him out.
Well, they kept him because of his ability to call a good game and trying to learn the American League and his throwing ability. And he's got to reach all the way across his body. Heads up play by Tejada to get there. Watch him come and cover the position. And then again, his momentum. And I don't know if he was out, but the umpire thought so. So a huge, huge play, even though they do get a runner into scoring position.
That will send Pedroia down to second base, but now there are 2 down, and the count is 3-2 on Lowell. And Lowell, a little chopper. Tatum says, I got it. He does, and gets it. And Millwood, with a little help from his D, gets out of the inning, even though the first 2 base runners reached. Scott and Reimold, Hughes, Tatum, and Lugo. Nick Markakis, a big series, 5 RBI ball game included.
And our scouting report on Josh Beckett. He's really been struggling, but over the course of his career here at Camden Yards, very effective. Runs galore since 2006, getting 6.16 runs to work with, and he has been struggling. Back-to-back April, 7.22 ERA, 15 runs in his last 10 innings pitched.
So Beckett will go against Jones, Markakis, and Wigginton, and take his 6-2 record against the Orioles to the mound. Adam Jones, 5 for 9 in the series. He's got a 3-game hit streak coming in, getting that average up ever so slowly, 234 right now. Chases that one up high. Jones is 4 for 17, lifetime off Beckett. And the Orioles offense obviously has come alive here in this series against the Red Sox. 3-2 in this homestand, and looking for the 3-game win streak against Boston. The 0-1 delivery. Jones loops that to right field. He's got a base hit. Leadoff man on. There is a very significant difference right there. Josh Beckett, that first strike has really mattered to him.
And the reason it's mattered, because he's not making good pitches. Now, he's certainly capable of doing that. He's had a history of elbow problems early on in his career. But everybody I talked to, fastball running back into the plate, as we just saw there, breaking ball staying up. Adam Jones did a nice job of serving it into right field, and there's your difference.
Here's Nick Markakis. Nick has gone over the 300 mark now with that 304 average. 3rd in the league in doubles. Nick with the career tying high 5 RBI ball game, including against Wakefield, the 3 RBI homer that came in the 6th inning in last night's game. Takes that one away. Veritek is thrown out, only 1 of 12. Red Sox problems with base stealers, well documented. They have caught only 6 in 44 chances, combining Martinez and Veritek. Jones did start running. Beckett, 9 straight steals against him this year. That one goes to 3rd. Beltre 1, Pedroia to 1st, and a big double play.
Take a look at the Red Sox defense. McDonald, Darnell, #1 draft choice for the Orioles in left, and every great play last night. Drew in right, Beltre, the Gold Glover, Scudero, Pedroia, Gold Glove, Mike Lowell, Gold Glove, but across the diamond at third base, and then the captain, Jason Veritek. And right here, when he is pitching well, it's going to be 2 seamers running away. Occasionally he'll cut it in. Big curveball and a changeup. Makes a nice pitch, gets 2.
Ty Wigginton. Wigginton at 324, and he is 3rd in the league in home runs with the 2 that he put up last night, numbers 7 and 8. And he's hit Beckett hard. He's 321 with 4 homers lifetime off Josh Beckett. 2 down, nobody on. Infield and outfield back up here with 2 away. It got him. Hit him on the elbow. Well, Wigginton will take the base.
Well, here's your 2-seamer. It's just going to run in and clip him in the arm, back elbow or forearm. That's twice now this week that Ty Wigginton got drilled, once in the ribs, now in the right arm.
3rd time he's been hit this year, and the first batter hit by Beckett.
He does his Don Baylor impression and Frank Robinson when they get hit. It's not like it hurts. You know it hurts, but they never let you know that.
Never. Here's Tejada. And he'll take it outside. He's closing in on 300, hitting 291 coming into the ball game. The lowest average versus any pitcher for Tejada, Mendoza, and then Beckett. Escobar, Mark Burley on that list.
But that's not Mario Mendoza.
Yeah, Mario.
I thought it was R. What's that?
1-0 strike. Tejada's 3 for 23 with a home run off Beckett.
Because Mario Mendoza is the Mendoza line because he hit under 200.
Yes.
So he's due.
There's your other side of the coin, sir.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I had Richie Zisk, I really had good success with him, and I knew that sooner or later he's going to get me, and he did. And you get nervous about those kind of things. The luck can't.
Down to first, not this time. Lowell right there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 1 complete, no score. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Doubles leaders for the Orioles, Nick Markakis, then Scott Tejada-Jones, Reimold and Atkins. Markakis is third in the league behind Miguel Cabrera and Vernon Wells. They are only 1 ahead of Nick. They have 11 doubles to lead the American League. Our Luna Doubles Day. And here's Ortiz, the designated hitter. David Ortiz trying to hang on to that job. Last night didn't hurt his cause. Home runs number 2 and 3. It's pitched to him, and that'll be fouled away.
Well, I'll take a look right here. He gets the perfect pitch, drops the bat head off of Brad Ferguson, and then later on against a tough lefty, Alberto Castillo, he leaves the ball in the inside upper corner, and he hammers it.
See, the DHs, Boston's average of 170 is the lowest in the American League for a DH number. This one to third, Tejada. And Ortiz is retired. That's why it's the issue about getting some production out of that DH spot. The Orioles are 11th. Now, these are total numbers of combined DHs. Texas, Kansas City on top, hitting over 300 in that department. So trying to get something. I mean, it's supposed to be the big advantage in the American League.
Yeah, and of course the Orioles hope that Luke Scott will do what he did last year. We had 25 home runs. The Red Sox hope that Ortiz will start hitting and hit 28 home runs, drive in 99. And of course, if you don't play, you can't do that. But they're built to win. The Orioles are built to try to get over 500. Win as many games as they can. So a little different, I guess, scenario as far as how you handle them. But I'll tell you this: they were 23-4 in games when Ortiz homered in 2009.
Beltre up. Guerrero's made the difference for Texas, obviously. The Angels thought maybe the career was coming to an end and were willing to have him depart. And Texas has found that, at least early on, Vladimir Guerrero is a house of fire at the plate. Beltre is a house of fire. He's got an 8-game hit streak, 5th best average in the American League. That's to short. Lou goes there. 2 down.
Yeah, they'd like him to play a little bit better defense, which is kind of hard to understand when he's won a couple of Gold Gloves. But you've seen it before. Beltre would be the first guy that goes over, even though it's a 1-year deal for a lot of money, $10 million, and you try to be better than maybe you're capable of doing. Just do what you normally do, and he's taken bad routes to balls, bad hops, and he's hurt him defensively.
Jason Varitek's getting the start behind the plate. Removed to the position of backup catcher, if you will, for the captain. He's responded by hitting .323. Couple of doubles, 4 home runs, and 8 RBIs. He's hit Millwood hard. A .387 lifetime batting average off Kevin Millwood. Kevin Millwood's ball games have all been tight. All of his starts, the previous 5, the ultimate score in the games has been decided by 3 or fewer runs, including 2 one-run ball games. The team is 1-4 in the starts by Kevin Millwood, and just fair to say he's deserving of having at least 1 win on the board.
Well, he keeps you in the game. I mean, he'll nibble early on. He had 20 walks going into that Seattle game with only 1 base, or 20 strikeouts with only 1 base on balls. And then again, when you play that, you feel like you have to be perfect. I don't care if you're better than 35.
Left-handers have hit .288 off him. Right-handers .243. 4 of the 5 home runs he's surrendered hit by left-handers. And the breaking ball of Veritek just misses. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. It is a very warm day today, as we said, 87 at game time, and it's a bit humid. Some high overcast, kind of one of those hazy, humid summer days. It will take its toll energy-wise and liquid-wise, especially on the pitchers and catchers.
Well, you would think that Kevin Millwood, who did pitch at Cleveland, but he started in Atlanta, so it's about as humid as anywhere, and then last year in Texas.
That'll do it.
Yeah, he's trained for this.
You can pitch there.
Oh, and
here's the 1-ball, 2-strike delivery. Veritek will take it up high.
Oh, it's a tiny strike zone. You would think this would be a hitter's afternoon. And again, this is judging whether Chad Fairfield's a good umpire or not. Some umpires have bigger strike zones. And today, so far, it's been minuscule at best.
2-2 by Millwood off speed. Left center field. Jones looking for the wall. At the wall. Reaching, and he's got it. He wanted it to look like he hauled in a home run, but he didn't. Good try, though, Adam. A 1-2-3 inning for Millwood. No score.
Plays for the Red Sox. Had a chance to attend spring training in '98, and he said a lot of the big players there really influenced him, like Cal Ripken, Robbie Alomar, and Eric Davis. He said especially Cal Ripken. He noticed that Cal would wear a watch before every game, and he had a very rigid time schedule. And Darnell told me that he's really tried to emulate that in his career, and he said he calls it now his daily vitamins, his daily routine. He also said that he learned the value of working hard. Cal Ripken, he said, would work his butt off before the game. He'd be working out. After the game, he'd be working out. And he said he's Cal Ripken, so if he has to do that, imagine what I'm going to have to do. So that work ethic has had to pay off because he's played over 1,300 minor league games since then. He's now 31 years old, but he did get the call-up April 20th. Gary?
And continues to get the opportunities with the Red Sox injuries. Here is Luke Scott. Reimold and Hughes will follow. The Orioles are looking for this first sweep of the Red Sox in 3 games since the 4-game sweep in '98. The last 3-game sweep was back in '74. The Orioles also looking for a 4-game winning streak against the Red Sox. That hasn't happened since 2004. 0-1 count on Scott. He's 8 for 15 off Beckett with 2 home runs. We're talking about Josh Beckett. He told the Boston Globe this week he threw a bullpen session in Toronto on Wednesday. He said, I have to be a little more smooth in my motion. It needs to be more natural, and I haven't done that. That has contributed to leaving the ball up in the strike zone. I don't think it's any big thing that I'm doing that's specifically wrong. It's more general. But he did take a side session in the bullpen to try and just smooth things out, as he put it.
Yeah, he's a big guy, so if he doesn't get over the front side and he can't get his head down and his arm extended out in front of him, the ball is going to be up. And he'll turn 30 in about 13 days, so he's relatively young for all the success he's had.
Luke Scott hitting at 197. Fouls that one right off the end of the bat. Scott, 1 run, 1 hit. The homer, 1 for 6 in this series. Highest averages against Beckett. You see Garrett Atkins, who's not in the game today. Then Luke Scott, Jim Edmonds, Pedro Feliz, and a couple others tied at 462. The all-time best numbers against the Red Sox starter. 1-2 delivery to Scott. Luke will take it up high. 2-2. Red Sox 5-8 at home, and if the Orioles can win today, it'll drop the Red Sox to 500 on the road. And for the Orioles, looking for their 4th home win before they head out Yankee Stadium, 3 games to wind up this 12 in a row against the Red Sox and Yankees. 2-2. Scott pulls it foul.
Well, this is a huge game. I mean, it's huge for the Orioles because the Red Sox had owned them 30 out of the last 39. And for the Red Sox, if Beckett doesn't pitch well, even though last year he started out with the same ERA as we mentioned in the opener, but he was 2-2 versus 1-0 this year, and then he went 15-4. So he needs to right the ship to get them back on track.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Scott reaching. Beckett in the dirt. Nice play by Lowell.
Good changeup.
Had a lot of break on it. Take a look at this series and how it's gone. The Orioles have won the first 2. They have out-hit the Red Sox, outscored them by 4. The irony is the bottom line. That was the big problem for the Orioles, getting hits with runners in scoring position. The Red Sox were hitting very well coming into this series. In this series, it's flip-flop.
Yeah. And when they have struggled, talking about the Red Sox, they were 0 for 32 when they got swept by the Rays up in Boston with runners in scoring position. That's just a mind-boggling number. You can see everything's up. It's not that he ultimately doesn't get the ball down as he did to Luke Scott, or as he did to Markakis to get the double play. But again, there's a rhythm. You stay over the pitching rubber. There's Daisuke, who pitched very well for 4 and then imploded in the 5th. But you're a big guy. You stay over the rubber. You get your arm out in front like that, and then the ball sinks.
Scudero will play the ground ball, and Reimold is retired. 2 away, second inning. T-shirt Tuesday is returning to Oriole Park May 11. First 10,000 fans 15 and over at the O's Mariners game will receive a Brian Mattis Baltimore T-shirt. And every Tuesday is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. So all upper reserve seats are only $8. Get information and tickets 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Ryan Hughes, 2 for 7 in this series. 2 down, nobody on. Ryan, of course, making his debut at Fenway Park. So against the Red Sox, 6 hits in 16 at-bats in the young career. Beckett has 2 down and nobody on. Beckett 4th high in hits surrendered in the American League coming into this game with 37. He's given up 1 here. Jones, the leadoff batter. Again, up high, and a 2-0 count.
Well, that's back-to-back changeups. 89 on the first one, 88. So if you're throwing 94 and you're locating him, I guess 5-6 miles per hour is all right. But if he throws that same pitch in the middle of the plate, it's going to get hammered. Ryan's going to think it's a fastball.
Yeah, 2-0 delivery, and then you overcompensate, Jim, and you end up throwing the ball out of the strike zone too low.
Well, I thought Terry Francona, and managers, especially when you have somebody like Josh Beckett, who's done such a terrific job for him, he says with his work ethic, he's going to figure it out, but he wants him to figure it out sooner than later, especially when you look at the standings in the American League East.
And again, called strike, that low strike that's been there. 3-ball, 1-strike count on Ryan Hughes. Tampa Bay, of course, is off to that great start, the best in their history, but they have lost the last 2. New York's a game and a half behind. Toronto 5.5. Boston 6, and the Orioles 11. 3-1 delivery to Hughes. Fouls that back off Veritek's mask.
In fact, all the teams in the American League East yesterday, at least the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Rays lost.
One of our great workers here at the ballpark who helps us in the press box gave me the stat of the day. He said, you want to know this? The Orioles have the only win in the American League East in May. And he's right. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Swung on, foul tipped into the mitt. Beckett gets his first strikeout and retires the side in order. The Little Leaguers paraded around the field prior to the game. Ryan Hughes. Quest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And as we look at the mighty Babe, we're reminded of his great teammate, Lou Gehrig. It was on this date in 1939 that Lou Gehrig came to the ballpark and said, I'm not going to play today. I am taking myself out of the lineup for the good of the team. And Gehrig never played again. This date in 1939, the Iron Horse's last day. He didn't play. Played the day before and then came back and said can't do it anymore. Here's McDonald, Darnell McDonald, and he will take the pitch down low for a ball. He's had an 0 for 6. And we're talking about McDonald, the former first-round pick of the Orioles, less than excited about coming back to Camden Yards, and hasn't done anything with it. He's 0 for 6 in the series. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Millwood with a walk and a strikeout. Van Every and then Scudero top of the order. That's there for a strike. It's ahead 1-2.
Yeah, Darnell, it seems, a little bit better fastball hitter, so they've been trying to get him out with breaking balls both up in Boston over this weekend.
Way outside with that one. Talking about the standings in the East, just to look around here on this Sunday. Detroit's got the longest win streak, 4. They are half a game behind Minnesota. Houston's lost 5 in a row. They've dropped to the bottom of the National League Central. And got him. He's going to ask about it. Millwood gets the strikeout.
Well, you know, a lot of times you'll throw a two-seamer to a lefty, run it away from. Watch this ball run back left to right. And apparently, you know, again, remember the plate's 17 inches wide, but you get the width of the ball. So it expands to about 21, 22 inches. And all the edge of the ball has to do is to be on it. And I think apparently Chad Fairchild, who's been calling no high strikes, the low strike, and then the ball right on the edge of the plate.
So Millwood gets that first out. Line drive up the middle. Van Every is on. Van Every's Had a couple of hits and 4 at-bats, including a home run in the limited chances he's had in the series. He's getting the start today in center.
And every time the Orioles will match up with a lefty, they brought in Hendrickson, he leaves the game, which is probably a good thing because he might have been in there towards the end of the game. But it looks to me he's got a nice swing. And how about the play he made yesterday off the bat of Adam Jones, sliding, as I've mentioned, Freddie Lynn type catch, long loping stride.
So he is on at first base, and here's the top of the order, Scudero. 2 hits now for the Red Sox, 1 for the Orioles, scoreless ball game, top of the 3rd inning. Scudero drew a walk and got taken out on a 2-5 putout, trying to steal, double steal. He was the lead runner and got caught at 3rd in a big play in the 1st inning. Scudero only 154 lifetime against Millwood. The only pitcher he's had more trouble with has been Kelvin Escobar. And that pitch is up high for a ball. Red Sox continue to just take a ton of pitches.
Well,
they fewest first pitch swings in the majors.
Unless you throw a pitch they're looking for. And we saw that with J.D. Drew. He almost always takes the first pitch, but he hacked at the first one because he was looking in a certain area. And, you know, we all know about numbers, but the one constant number, there you go. And
that's a real low average.
Well, you're right, because, again, they're a veteran team in most cases. There are a couple of exceptions, like Ben Every down at first, that they have a game plan. They know what they want to hit.
Scudero is just going to stand in there and make Kevin Millwood throw a strike before he starts his at-bat. 2-ball, 1-strike count on him. He looks down to 3rd to Bogar now. Van Every had a pretty good lead over there at first base. Red Sox have not done a lot of running, of course, with Jacoby Ellsbury out. 9 stolen bases and 13 chances. Big lead. Van Every has not stolen a base nor tried this year, but he hasn't played very much.
Other than Ellsbury with 2 out of 2, Pedroia on deck, 2 for 2. And that's why Ellsbury is so important. Not only did that speed help defensively, but he ignites this offense. There he is. Called him Jeremy on Friday. That's what happens when you miss about a month. Forget your first name. It's Jacoby. That was close, but
it's close. Yeah. There he goes. Swung on right to the shortstop. Double play. The runner going, and Millwood for the 2nd time has a big defensive play in the inning. Look at the coverage by Lugo. Always exciting and a great draw. Make your plans now for the first fireworks night, Friday, May 14, the Indians, and a 7:05 start. And then after the game, the great fireworks display. Every Friday is AT&T Student Night. All students can purchase a left field upper reserve seat for only $6 with a valid school ID. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Fireworks last night, of course, at a 12-9 Orioles win. Each team had 12 hits a game. Brad Bergeson got the victory. Dice K, the loss. Both pitchers in unique settings. Dice K's first start. Brad Bergeson coming back from the minors for it. And a strike taken. Craig Tatum getting the start. Played with Cincinnati last year, 26 games, the only major league experience that he had prior to this year. 6 years in the minors. 0-1, loop towards center, Van Every. One away in the third. Julio Lugo's making his third start at shortstop, batting in the 9 spot. Lugo 1 for 12 off Beckett in his career.
Yeah, and this year 1 for 22 off righties. Much better. Not a lot of at-bats, but 2 for 6 off lefties. But they wanted to give Asturias at least initially, the afternoon off.
And Lugo will take it outside. Reminder, the Orioles will move on to the road. We'll be with you tomorrow night from Yankee Stadium, New York. Jeremy Guthrie and CC Sabathia. Brian Mattis, A.J. Burnett, David Hernandez, and Andy Pettit. The scheduled matchups in New York. Lugo will foul that one off his foot. The Yankees, of course, have been playing some good baseball, trying to catch Tampa Bay. They're a game and a half behind. 3rd in average, 4th in home runs, 1st in slugging percentage. Their ERA is now up to 5th best. Robinson Cano may very well be the player of the month in April in the American League. Curtis Granderson has gone on the DL.
Yeah, he hit second base and pulled something in the groin area, so limped to third and right out of the game. So they put him on the DL. I have no idea. He said he didn't feel anything pop, just a soreness. And what they'll do is they'll just platoon. Gardner will move over to center, even though he's playing better in left. And let's see, who will they put? They'll put Marcus Thames in left, and then there's another. Let's see who else. Swisher will be in right. Another player they'll put out there, but they'll miss him.
Absolutely. 2-1 delivery. That's a case of a team not wanting to go short-handed and just not willing to have somebody sitting on the bench waiting for not knowing how many days and not being able to play. Beckett got the call on that one. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Lugo. 1 down, the base is empty. 2-2 delivery, and that's up the middle. So he's 2 for 13 off Beckett, a 1-out single here in the 3rd inning. Time now for the AT&T Mobility Trivia question. We struggle with the answer. We even struggle introducing it. How many current Red Sox have gold gloves?
Okay. Pedroia, Euclid, Lowell, and Beltry. That's 4.
Veritek ever win one behind the plate?
I don't believe so. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. Pitchers.
Beckett?
No. I don't think. He just strikes people out.
So our answer right now is 4.
There has to be like a stealth person in there.
Lackey ever win one?
No.
All right, 4. 4 is the answer. The real answer is 6. Veritek did win one.
Cameron. See, if you don't count, if you play. If you don't play, you can't. Veritek won one.
See, that's our new rule. We didn't tell them that. If you're not currently playing, you can't be counted in the trivia.
But we forgot Jason anyway.
Well, I thought he had won one, but I'm never sure of those things.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go out on a limb.
Absolutely not. Who won the Kentucky Derby yesterday? Who was that?
I don't know. Whatever you would when you go to the grocery store. Super safe.
Inside with the heater. Runner on at first base, 1 away. Jones had a single and extended his hit streak to 4 games with a base hit. He's got 6 hits now, 10 at bats in this series. And against the Red Sox, that ups his number to 8 for 26 this year against Boston. 2 home runs and 4 RBIs against the Red Sox. Lugo at first. Oh, 2 the count. 1 down.
Well, Jonesy a lot better against righties. Really a struggle against left-handed pitching. So as good as Beckett can throw the ball. 2 for 23 against left-handed pitching. Of course, they change speeds, ball moves more. Coriolis effect, here in the northern hemisphere because of the rotation of the Earth. You knew that, though. Seriously.
No, that is the way it rotates.
Right.
I was watching when I took a shower this morning, and sure enough,
the way the water goes down the drain. Yeah, the southern hemisphere it goes differently. Right-handers, if they played baseball down there, would have an advantage.
Just think if they could yodel
and
or do the stroll. Throw over runner back. Not fair to fans who missed it last night. We were talking about doing the stroll and yodeling.
Well, what we're talking about is Dice K going to an audition for tap dancing, but he thinks he has to also yodel and do the stroll and everything else because he's never going to throw somebody 3 straight fastballs. So that's how we got into that discretion.
Let's see you write an essay on that. 2-strike count on Jones. Lugo with the lead, and he runs. Jones tried to wait on that. He got jammed. Fouled it back. So both of these teams, it tells you something about how the managers feel about their offenses. Never mind last night, 12-9. Both teams have tried to generate things early in the ball game, sending runners, moving people. Francona tried a double steal earlier. Dave Tremblay has sent 2 runners here so far in the ball game.
And I think a lot of it has to do with because the term of low and away was not in any pitcher's vocabulary last night other than maybe Manny Del Carmen and Mark Hendrickson for about 2 batters. I mean, it was a slugfest.
The 0-2 is ripped, but it's foul.
So I think as Dave Tremblay said early in the week, hey, our bullpen's up for grabs, even though Simone looks like he's going to be the closer. It's going to be up to who gets guys out. So the same thing with your offense. If Beckett's out there, even though he's been struggling, he doesn't struggle against the Orioles. Millwood, get him some runs. The Orioles don't do that. So how as a manager, are you going to try to do that? Speed on first. And that was an 0-2 pitch that he was going on. But I think that was a straight steal. Yeah. Because Lugo can run the bases, even though a year ago he was recovering as a shortstop for the Red Sox with a knee problem.
0-2 count. Jones reaching to protect. Here at Camden Yards for Josh Beckett. He's pitched well against the Orioles. 5-1 here with a 3.04 earned run average. 5-1 at this ballpark. 6-2 lifetime against Baltimore. 3.04 ERA here at Camden Yards.
Well, it's a good match for him because when he's on his game, he sinks the ball. That 2-seamer induces a lot of ground balls. Slow infield compared to some of the other ballparks around. I ran into their CEO of baseball operations, Larry Lucchino. He said, boy, does this ballpark play small. Who designed it? Of course, he designed it. And I said, yeah, left center last night and even right field. It's a friendly ballpark when the air warms up and you don't make great pitches.
One of the first nights here at home where there was not a wind blowing. The cool weather and the winds that had been here for the first few games had really reduced the ability to get the ball out of the yard. But last night it was very still, and it's not blowing very hard today either. 0-2 the count. Good lead at first. Runner not going, and a swing and a miss. So Jones retired. Second strikeout in the ball game for Beckett.
Yeah, the Red Sox are hoping the longer he goes. That looks almost like a slider. He doesn't throw that very often. Maybe just a cut fastball, but again, Varitek, the captain, they know each other very, very well. All those starts and all the trust you have in him that he's going to be able to read the bat if you can't do it as a pitcher.
Maybe he worked on that in the bullpen session Wednesday to have a little something else.
Well, yeah, I've never seen him. I don't know if he just cut it, but that ball just acted like a slider.
Now there are 2 down. Nick Markakis will take it inside. Markakis hit into a double play. His first time up.
And there was another one right there. And just probably a cut fastball that, he really got around that one. There you go.
You see the numbers.
Yeah, and how do you have the same ERA? Of course, it's gone down.
Couldn't do that if you tried.
No, you couldn't through 5 starts.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. Markakis has been just red hot, hitting .421 over the last 9 games with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. After that very slow start, Nick has picked the pace up dramatically. 313 hitter lifetime off Beckett. No score in this ball game. Third inning. Lugo on at first base. Has taken off once. Long look.
Yeah, you got to step out.
Markakis has got to step out, and he does.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the ways, because I think Josh Beckett, I mean, look at the scoreboard. You know you're pitching against Millwood. Yes, you're getting the Oriole hitters out, and he's getting your hitters out. But the scoreboard gives you a pretty good indication that maybe this is not going to be a high-scoring affair. So you better tend to the guys that can run, and Lugo is one of them. So hold the ball or slide step. And it is another way of actually disrupting somebody that's red hot. Nick Markakis' timing. I mean, that's what you're trying to do out there.
Nick 5 for 9 in the series, a home run and 5 RBIs against the Red Sox. As Nick with the 5 last night, one more than the total he had in the first 23 games in RBIs. Lugo's going 2-1 delivery, swung on and foul tipped.
Yeah, because what Lugo's looking at is that front knee when you come set. When that knee breaks, that's when the right-handed pitcher is usually going to home plate. And of course, Davey Leonard, my former roommate, who went to Johns Hopkins, so the minute that leg collapses and that knee moves, that's a good read for the more adept base runners. Now, of course, right off the
clinkety clink.
Yeah.
Lugo's getting his exercise in. 2-ball, 2-strike count. 2 down. And Markakis just fights it off the other way. Sure, the humidity and temperature have something to do with it today, but you can just see Josh Beckett and Kevin Millwood, 2 veterans. It's a very slow process getting the ball back, getting on the mound, getting the sign. They're really taking their time here on every pitch. And it is warm.
Well, I mean, again, Josh Beckett on May 15th is going to turn 30, but it seems like he's been around forever. You know, that experience early on, MVP 2003 World Series for the Marlins.
Runner goes, and a good throw, and got him. Varitek throws out just the second base runner in 13 chances on the season. And that will do it in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Oh, 2-0 for both Red Sox and Orioles as we go to the 4th inning. Millwood has walked one, struck out two, a couple of strikeouts for Beckett. And Dustin Pedroia, who singled his first time up, stands back in. Pedroia tearing it up on the road early. 383 road average, 6th best in the American League coming into today. 0-1 is up high, 1-1. League leaders going into month 2. Cano 382 the average. Konerko 11 home runs. RBIs Miguel Cabrera 26. Your leaders in the American League departments. 2-1.
And Pedroia has the same amount of RBIs as Cano. Hadn't scored as many runs, 15 to 21. Not hitting as high, about 80 points lower. Both really good defensive players. Cano getting better. Pedroia's already won a Gold Glove, and Pedroia steals bases better.
2-1 delivery. Pedroia foul.
And then how about I asked him, I said, did you play? I figured he'd be a basketball player. So I said, Dustin, did you play other sports? He said, yeah, I was a cornerback and a quarterback.
And we
said, what? Eddie LeBaron.
We decided that he threw under the outstretched arms of the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he certainly didn't throw over him.
Pop Warner, he laughed at that and then wanted to deck me.
2-2 delivery, swung on, and that's going to be Tatum. Oh, nice play. Greg Tatum has made a couple, but to get Pedroia on that is an outstanding effort.
Well, it seemed like it was the perfect swing and bunt. We saw Adam Jones keep an inning alive, and then Marcus Kakis hit a home run. I mean, a good breaking ball. He's just over top. But look at this. This is why they kept Craig Tatum and let Chad Moeller go. Moeller did not have a very good spring throwing out runners. So again, I mean, if I'm a veteran pitcher, leadoff base hit in a 0-0 game is an out. That's huge.
Hit Pedroia off the base paths, not even allowing him to get on. Here's J.D. Drew. Drew called out on strikes his first time up. And Millwood gets the off-speed pitch in there for a strike. So Kevin Millwood is doing again, as he has in his previous 5 starts, getting off to a really good start. And as usual, there are no runs on the board so far to support him. Millwood has received only 13 runs in 5 starts. And the Orioles, when he has been in the ball game, he can drop that.
What, 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
Not enough. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you pitched a no-hitter. I don't care if you won an ERA title. I don't care if you were 13-10 last year in the pitchers.
Got him.
Good curveball, but he just knows how to pitch. And I mean, all I know, if I'm sitting on the bench, I'm a young pitcher, I'm watching what he does, how he prepares. He get guys standing down when he warms up, whether it's Pedroia to go through. Look at this right there.
Lowest ERA since 69 in April without a win. Dean Chance, Greg Swindell, Chris Bosio, and Kevin Millwood.
Yeah, Chance won a Cy Young Award, started in the Oriole organization, and they let him go in the draft. He pitched 12 shutouts in 64 for the Angels. Boxing promoter. Still doing it, I think.
Boxing promoter?
Yeah.
Yep. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Mike Lowell. That'll be taken up high. Lowell making the start at first base in the ball game today, where Youkilis was supposed to be. Lowell was going to be starting at third, but then when Youkilis had the groin problem this morning and couldn't play, Lowell got inserted to first. Beltray, who was not going to play, was put back into the lineup at third base. Kevin Youkilis over there. We're not sure if he's available or not to hit. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and a chopper down to third, and that will stay foul.
Yeah, coming into the game, only 32 at bats. I was talking to you before the game. I was reading the other day. He said, when you only hit once as a pinch hitter versus being a regular, he said, I try to figure that my first at bat is really my third or fourth bat, where I've already got into that routine. Had the hip problem last year. Still had a very good year offensively for him. Was probably going to be traded to the Rangers, and then had the ligament problem, had to have an operation on his thumb.
I mean, the deal was done.
Yeah, and again, that You know, he had an injury last year that didn't heal. He's a dangerous hitter.
Yeah. 36 years old. Taken outside for a ball. He's been one of the heart and soul members of this Red Sox decade. A .295 Red Sox hitter. .280 over his career. He'd also played a bit with the Yankees, 8 games, and then a lot of time with Florida.
Well, he came over with Josh Beckett, and of course the Marlins got one of the best players in the National League, Hanley Ramirez.
Whoa, swinging at it. That's going to be foul tipped.
Again, you don't see too many swings. And again, I think Mike realized earlier on the strikeout of Darnell McDonald, that two-seamer that runs back, and that was just almost hit it out of the glove. Try to stay alive, get a better pitch here, 2-2.
Millwood with 2 away and nobody on. Here's the 2-2 to Lowell, and that's outside. So he takes it full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Because if you go back and look at that trade, the only reason the Red Sox took Lowell is they could afford. They wanted Beckett. And then, of course, to get those 2 players, they had to give up a guy that, again, has turned out to be a marvelous young player in Hanley Ramirez, who's signed long-term by the Marlins.
3-2, and he throttled back and got him. Lowell flings the bat down in disgust. 4 strikeouts for Millwood, faces only 3. Is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Sunday ball game here at Camden Yards, and enjoying it. Amber Theo Harris. Amber.
Well, Nick Markakis, if you notice, he is always the guy that's in the film room. And I asked him, spending a lot of time in there, what exactly is he always looking for? And he said, well, he's faced a guy like Beckett many times, but really what he's looking for is, has he changed anything from the last time he faced him? He wants to see his last start. So he's always comparing his last at-bat versus the pitcher's last start to see if anything's changed, just trying to get some sort of edge. He said it's all about being educated. He said you have to be educated. He doesn't buy into that not knowing the pitcher you're facing that day, Gary.
And a lot of time spent in that film room. You're absolutely right, Amber. Nick loves to do that, even during a ball game sometimes.
Yeah, and I know the Orioles would hope that Beckett's going to pick 9 hits in 3 innings and 8 runs, but that's not been the case because he's cleaned up his stuff. And let's look at that pitch, inside corner. Got the low one. You know, what Nick probably thought was a couple inches low, which it may have been because it's a low strike zone. But that's one thing about Chad Fairchild today. He has established a low strike zone, so you better live with it because that's his zone.
Beckett working his way through the parts of the ball game that this year have really been troublesome. He'd given up a couple of runs in the first inning, 5 runs in the second inning, and 7 runs in the third inning of ball games this season. In his previous 5 starts, he is now in the 4th inning, and he hasn't given up anything. A couple of hits. Jones and Lugo the singles. The other side, Millwood the same. Pedroia and Avery have singles. And that's it. That's the total offense in this ball game.
Having been in a lot of these type of games, it usually comes down to, can you get the leadoff guy? You get a little unlucky. Maybe a guy will bloop one to the opposite field for a double or something like that. can you make the big pitches with runners in scoring positions? And
Markakis got one. That's going to fall in front of Van Every. And a leadoff single for Nick Markakis. The Orioles have the leadoff man on for the second time in 4 innings. If you watch where Varitek's glove was and where that pitch was,
pretty much where it was. And again, early on in the count, he got it way away, but it was 2 strikes, and Nick got to see a lot of fastballs, and he hits the 4th one into left center field, which is something that looks like he can do pretty much on command.
Well, the Orioles will really try and make hay now. Here's the middle of the order. They are the bats that have done the most against Beckett lifetime. Ty Wigginton hit by a pitch his first time up. Markakis being held at first. Lowell. Varitek will stand up, timeout. I think Lowell's got a new glove down there. This is the first time he's played at first base. He's got that orange glow glove holding the bag on Markakis. Keeps one broken in just in case.
Well, how about Ozzie Guillen making Javier Vasquez change his glove yesterday? Said it was two-tone.
That's an Ozzie favorite.
And then
he loves doing that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, Vasquez has got a 9.7 ERA for the Yankees. 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 home runs. Can't pitch without that glove. Yeah, I mean, that's when you want to drill the manager.
Yep.
Just heave one into the dugout.
1-0. There's that slider, or what it looks like anyway, outside 2-0 count. So Beckett falls behind on Ty Wigginton, and then Tejada on deck. The Orioles try and get to him. Beckett, even though he's 1-0, the team's 4-1 in the starts he's made. Another amazing number with an ERA of 7.22, but as Jim noted, it's all the runs they've scored when he pitches.
Yeah, they were up in their notes. Now, since 2006, well over 6, but this year close to 7 runs when he pitches.
Wigginton wanted one and didn't get it. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, fastball hitters count. Can you throw something other than a fastball in that count? And Beckett does. And they better do that.
Yeah. He came in having 50 runners on base this season. That's the 3rd highest, tied for 3rd high in the American League. Yet in this ball game, the Orioles have had only the 3 singles and a hit batter. 4 runners, and we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Markakis at first. Wigginton will foul that one back. He wanted it, and it's 2-2.
And another number, we can throw all kinds of numbers, but he loves pitching here. So that tells me, as somebody that pitched in ballparks, that he must be comfortable with the mound. But in all the games he's pitched here, and he came in 5-1 with a very low ERA that you talked about, he's struck out 50 and only walked 9, and we're seeing that again this afternoon. Hasn't walked anybody yet. Really hasn't gotten any deep counts. I mean, he's not punching out a lot of guys, but it looks like he's got pretty good command of his stuff to this point.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. And got him again.
Well, there's your curveball.
So he keeps trying to come inside on Wigginton. Hit him the first time near the elbow and just hit him that side near his wallet.
Well, this is just a spinner. You try to get on top of your breaking ball. Let's see if we can get underneath. Yeah, he drops his shoulder a little bit and the elbow, and the ball just spins and backs up. I mean, if you're going to get hit by Josh Beckett, this is the way to do it. 78-mile-per-hour curveball that just spins up and hits him in the elbow.
So the Orioles get 2 on and nobody out. Scoreless ball game, 4th inning. That will bring up Miguel Tejada. Tejada grounded out his first time up. And this is the pitcher he struggles against. 3 for 24 lifetime with a home run. And that's going to be a base hit into right field. Good jump, Nick Markakis. Up with it, J.D. Drew, and he'll be held. Drew with a good throw to the cutoff man. That ball hit so hard, couldn't get him in, that the Orioles have loaded him up.
Yeah, you're kind of wondering with first and second if Miguel will take a shot to right field. He gets the perfect pitch to do. I mean, this is the kind of approach he had when he hit, he got 214 hits, broke Cal Ripken Jr.'s record. Just as Markakis can hit it to left field on demand, that's what Mickey can do to right field. Great approach.
So John Farrell, the pitching coach of the Red Sox, will go to the mound as the Orioles get a big chance here. Here's Luke Scott. 1 for 6 in the series, a home run.
Yep, hit the high knuckleball, almost wood chopped it out of here. And we have seen, the Orioles in the second inning when John Lackey pitching on Friday night, and Garrett Atkins at the plate with the bases loaded. Atkins got him to hit one right back to him for the 1-2-3 double play.
Luke Scott's going to get his first chance with the bases loaded this season. Nobody out. Scott grounded out his first time up. And fouls that one right straight back. This is why Scott gets the shot as the DH. His numbers 8 for 16. 2 home runs off Beckett. With the bases loaded, 1 career grand slam.
And he really wants to change his fortunes. So I'm 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position. He's a better hitter than that. That number will obviously go up. It can't go down any lower. Again, only 1 for the 17.
And we'll take that inside. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Scott. The Orioles now with 4 hits in the inning. Markakis got one of them, a single. Wigginton hit by a pitch, and Tejada a single. Loading him up.
And that is a cut fastball. And the problem with throwing a cutter, if you're not commanding your other stuff, it does take away from that little extra of finishing that sinker. And again, if you're not ahead in the count, it's hard to use the cutter to your advantage.
1-1. Sacks full. Scott will foul it off.
And there's your pitch to hit right there. Low fastball versus 1 up or on the corner. But Beckett's taking strikeout now. I mean, he's got the count to do it.
1-2 on Scott. We told you the first pitch strikes very important. Beckett just 46% of them. Millwood 53%. First pitch strikes when Beckett gets them. Teams hit under 200 against him. Over 400 after the count's 1-0. 1-2 count here on Scott. Shift is on. Shortstop behind second. And Scott strikes out. And the woes continued for the Orioles DH.
Well, it's really a big bonus to ultimately, and we'll show you how he gets to this 1-2 count. There's he chases a ball out of the zone, gets ahead, 1-1. There's another pitch that hit, swings through it. And then right there, when you have the high heat, and you do have a curved ball and a changeup, Luke Scott just can't center the ball. It's a big, huge strikeout.
1 down. No chance to get out of the inning with a double play. Reimold grounded out his first time up. Nolan with the bases loaded. 1 chance this year. Drew a bases loaded walk. 1-0 count again. Beckett falls behind. Inning where the Orioles just have to score. You get the first 3 on. You've got to get at least 1, really 2, out of the inning.
Well, you'd like to, yeah, except it's Josh Beckett. And when Curt Schilling pitched for the Red Sox, that term execute your pitches. And I'm sure John Farrell, the pitching coach, went out there and he said, hey, execute your pitches. He did it to Luke Scott. Can you do it to Nolan Reimold?
1-0 delivery. Reimold will take the pitch up high. Trying to get him to go after pitches, and the count goes to 2-0.
There's another cutter.
Throwing a lot of those today.
Well, Doc Gooden went 24-4 with the Mets, and he told Mel Stoudemire, the pitching coach, who was a terrific pitcher in his own, I want to start throwing some cut fastballs. And Mel says, no, you don't. Because it affects the finish on your other fastball, which was about as good as you could get back then. Middle 80s.
He had a great curveball.
Oh, did he ever.
2-0 delivery, and Reimold down to third. Chance for the inning. And a run will score, and the tag's got to be put on. Good job by Ty Wigginton, the veteran, as Beltre came up, wanted to tag him and go to first, instead had to wait.
Again, another sinker, and Nolan, as he did the first time, hits a ground ball. I think Beltre figures I can't get the double play, so I might as well just wait. Great angle right here, and you could see the ball hits slowly in a slow infield. So what do? I just go back and get the force at third, but the Orioles do get a run.
So the Orioles take the lead. The RBI will go to Reimold, his 8th of the season. Runners at first and second now with 2 down, and here's Ryan Hughes. 1-0 O's. Hughes, strikeout victim, first time up, will take it away for a ball.
Yeah, Beckett threw a fastball right by him for strike 3. Good tailing fastball, caught the outside corner.
Orioles still trying to get to that 200 mark for an average with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
Well, a lot of guys come out of the minor leagues, and what they will tell you when you get to the big leagues, all facets of the game, it speeds up. How often in the minor leagues were you going to face the guys you faced in the last week if you're Ryan Hughes?
Down to third base. That is a fair ball. That's going to bring Juan Miguel Tejada. Reimold at third will hold a double for Hughes, RBI, and a 2-0 O's lead.
So what you hope happens is that the young guys, and they got him last year for Greg Zahn, who's now catching with Milwaukee, traded him down to Tampa Bay, that the young hitters adjust. And right here, late on the fastball, ball down and away, hits it just inside the bag. Here comes Tejada to make it 2-0.
So Hughes continues to put up the numbers against the Red Sox, the team, of course, that he broke into the majors against in that series at Fenway Park. And the Orioles get a big 2-out RBI right there. That'll be his 4th of the season. And there are 2 in scoring position still. And here's Greg Tatum. Tatum flied out his first time up. He's had only 8 at-bats. 1 hit, a single. Starting for the 3rd time behind the plate. Tatum a breaking ball. It's inside to him. Ball 1.
Yeah, I don't know if Josh Beckett's thrown a curveball over this afternoon yet. Seems like every time, and again, a very humid day here in Baltimore, he just gets under it, spins. He hit Wigington, big part of this inning, even though Wigington with great lifetime numbers against it with 4 home runs. But he's pretty one-dimensional today. I mean, he's throwing a cutter, hadn't thrown a lot of changeups, but it's mostly fastballs.
1-0 delivery. There's a breaking ball. It's in there for a strike. Throttle back on it. So Kevin Millwood doesn't see many runs cross the plate when he's pitching. He's got a 2-0 lead now and hoping for more. And again, in a key moment here in this game, because it's a whole lot different. If Tatum can get a hit and drive in 2, or if Beckett can get him out and leave those 2 on, it's a whole different ball game. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Tatum will take it outside. And a 2-ball, 1 strikeout.
And he didn't make a good pitch to the guy on deck, Lugo, but you really, if I'm Josh Beckett right here, I am going to make my pitches. I mean, I have to execute my pitching, because if I don't, and I give up those 2 runs, what I've done, in essence, I mean, certainly the game's not over. I've taken my club out of the game emotionally and physically. And you don't like to do that as a starting pitcher.
2-ball, 1 strikeout on Tatum. Runners off second and third. Way up and out. That's a 3-ball, 1 strikeout. Lugo waiting on deck.
Certainly not at velocity, because it's in the mid-90s and 95.
68 pitches thrown so far by the Red Sox starter. So Tatum with a 3-1. Looking for a couple of RBIs. He only has 1 on the season. 3-1 pitch to him. A roller to short. Scudero hits it over to first. And 2 are left on. But 2 runs in here in the 4th inning on 3 hits. And the Orioles take a 0-0 lead. And Kevin Millwood, after his first victory this season, 0-3, despite pitching a 3.38 ERA, has some runs to work with here in this Sunday afternoon. He is 6-4 lifetime against the Red Sox. This is the 16th career start against Boston. It was 2-0 last year in 3 starts. Now looking to pick up a victory. Players moving to get into the shift here with Ortiz coming up. Ortiz popped out his first time up.
Yeah, after having a couple of good swings early on. I did, talked to him today, ran into him in their locker room, and he said, well, if I don't play, if I can't get out of the doldrums. It was late May when he hit the first home run last year, so he's ahead of that pace. But like we said last night, I mean, they put the shift on, but he does. And of course, we don't know if those are ground balls. I would imagine a lot of his hits are the way the charts. He doesn't very rarely hits a ground ball to left on, or a ball to left on the ground.
Millwood evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ortiz, Beltre, Veritek due up here with the Orioles on top. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Talking about Ortiz, and I got to play. Lowell's over there. I can't hit if I don't play. Veritek's over there. How am I going to hit if I don't play? And I don't mean they're saying that, but Terry Francona this year is going to have to do an extra job in managing. I mean, he has had a lineup for most of the seasons of the Red Sox that was pretty well set. And the guys played, and they all were good, and the guys on the bench knew that. Now, all of a sudden, you got guys who are stars, who played, who aren't playing, young players trying to figure out where they are. There's going to have to be some managing done that's a little different for the Red Sox than what Francona's done in the past few years. And it will result in a few headaches along the way trying to make things work.
Well, that's a great point. But what will solve that is if you start playing winning baseball, and those guys will get on board.
2-2 up high.
Yeah. So he knows the strike zone, David Ortiz. Haven't been a high strike all day long. Some umpires, that's a strike. Certainly hasn't been this afternoon. And again, Chad Fairchild has certainly established his strike zone and has been very consistent.
2 home runs last night. 35th time in his career he's done that. 3-2 delivery on the way, and Ortiz will take it inside and draws a walk. And Millwood, Ortiz or not, did not want that. So a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. Stop by High Top's Backstage Grill on York Road in Timonium this Thursday night. The Orioles alumni viewing party will be going on. Masson and former O's center fielder Al Bumbry is going to be there. Al's going to be at High Tops from 7 until 9. The O's will be playing the Twins from their new ballpark. It'll be on Masson 2 HD starting at 8. For details, OriolesReach.com. 4 games for the Orioles in that new ballpark. 2 night games, 2 day games in Minnesota. That should be fun. Chance to see the new yard. Here's Beltre, chance for 2. Lugo, 1. Relay Wigginton, double play.
Yeah, that ball almost stayed down and got by him. It looks pretty routine, but again, sometimes the infield gets a little chewed up. I mean, here you go, right at you. And then he stays down. Want to stay below the hop. Glove can always come up, can't go down, and they turn the double play. And Beltre, one of the hottest hitters after the leadoff walk to Ortiz. Huge, huge pitch.
Buddy Harrelson, New York Mets shortstop. Just take me out there, ground balls, just fooling around. He say there are 2 things you've got to keep down to field ground balls. One of them's your glove.
Yeah. Your derriere. And the other one.
Oh, that's what he was talking about. Here's Veritek, flied out his first time up. Veritek towering fly ball. Markakis looking. That is way back. And goodbye. Home run. Veritek makes it a 2-1 ball game.
Well, the captain, 5th home run of the year. You know, there's a school of thought that if he doesn't play every day, he'll be more rested at 38 or 2. And he just belts this ball, and there's probably some truth to that. You know, I used to talk to Jason. I said, when do you do all your work, or do you get a day off? He said, when Wakefield pitches. I mean, I know I have to catch, and then the other day I try to hope to get maybe one day where I don't work on my drills and whatever.
So the homer by Veritek cuts the lead in half. Veritek's 5th long ball of the year, and that'll be RBI number 9 for Jason Varitek. Varitek gets his 2nd home run against the Orioles this season.
Well, the last time the Orioles won with 2 runs was June 21st against the Phils up in when Guthrie beat Hamilton. So again,
with just 2 runs.
With 2 runs.
Right.
So 2 runs usually doesn't do it.
That one to center field. And to be hauled in by Jones. McDonald is retired, and that will retire the side. Jason Varitek, the homer. The lead still the. I have not seen this many little leaguers here as there were today. I mean, there's always a big group, but today it just went on and on.
Well, look at Adam. He put his batting gloves on.
Yeah. He just I don't know how many kids were here, but hundreds and hundreds.
Well, I love Little League because that's how I started. And I still remember the first time you go and try to make the teams. And you don't know if you're going to make them or not.
Absolutely.
And, your feet are too big, so you got to wear Converse tennis shoes where everybody else is wearing rubber spikes. And you're already self-conscious, but you kind of work through that.
Yeah. So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lugo, Jones, and Marquez. Lugo singled his first time up. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Orioles. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. The Orioles have left 3, and the Red Sox 1. And let's give Justin Pedroia his due. They sent a Little Leaguer out to get second base for the ground crew here on Little League Day. He couldn't get the base out, was stuck, so Dustin came over and pulled it out for him and gave it to him.
Who was taller?
Good guy, the Little Leaguer.
Well, they had a pitcher up for a day, Fabio Castro. He said he's my favorite pitcher because I'm 3 inches taller than him. So, again.
It's got to be the invisible pitcher.
Well, he was only there for a day. Don't get rid of him. Don't send him down. I mean, I could eat crumbs off the top of his hat. Come on. Well, every time Brian Roberts and they used to work out together in Arizona, they always said, who's taller? Brian's got him. Brian's 5'9". I don't think so. Doesn't matter, though, for him. Really good player.
1 ball, 2 strike count from Beckett.
Both of them have.
Lugo chasing that one, and he's gone. That'll be strikeout number 4. 1 away here in the 5th. This summer, your kids can learn how to play like the pros from the pros. Sign up for the official Orioles Summer Baseball Camp. Ages 7 to 16, 5 days professional training, appearances by current and former O's, and a free membership in the Junior Orioles Dugout Club, and a chance to play one of the camp days right here at Oriole Park. For details, 410-472-3500 or go to Orioles.com. 1 down, top of the order. Jones 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. The Orioles have RBIs from Reimold and Hughes in the 4th inning. Varitek the home run in the 5th. The run for the Red Sox. Jason Varitek. His 11th home run lifetime here at Camden Yards. The 0-1 delivery to Jones will be taken inside. Yankees are leading Chicago 5-0 today. The Orioles head to New York to play tomorrow against New York. Robinson Cano, a home run in that ball game. Gee, what a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the 1-1. Broke the bat. Skidero. And saw Robinson Cano is the first New York Yankee. Think about that. The first New York Yankee in the month of April to hit 400 and have 8 home runs. No other Yankee has ever had a start to a season with a 400 average or better and 8 home runs. Robinson Cano. That covers a lot of players.
Well, it does, and because they used to start a little bit later because of the 154 game schedule.
First month of the season. Yep.
I don't care if it's still 154. It's still a nice little.
It's exactly.
But
right.
as most guys, you know, it's funny when you talk to major league managers, players, or whatever. You go, hey, you know, good start, and they go, that's all it is, because that's really all it is. I mean, it's better.
Would you rather have a good start or a bad start?
Well, you're right, but they don't want to jinx themselves. You know,
exactly.
They understand it's 6 months.
Long way to go.
Okay, I mean, look at Nick Markakis. The first 2 weeks. And of course, we've seen this before. I mean, his rookie year, you're going, can he stay up here? Can he play up here? Well, he figured it out the second half of the year. And a very, very good year. And but sometimes when you have a track record, I don't think you worry too much about, for young players, about what's going to ultimately transpire over the course of the year.
He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a run scored. There's the changeup. Nick leads the Orioles in runs, hits, doubles, and walks. Ty Wigginton, the Oriole leader in home runs and RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Markakis. Nick now hitting at 309. Takes that one to left field. Let's see if it's going to carry. McDonald going back at the wall, and he's got it. A 1-2-3 inning for Beckett. And another tight ball game at Camden Yards. The Orioles leading it 2-1. Only 26 games in the majors prior to this year. A couple big plays. Got the runner at third base on the attempted double steal. Then on a very tough throw, Dustin Pedroia the second time. Well, that's a good play to get Pedroia. Tatum's done a real good job behind the plate.
Everything he's done has, again, helped the Orioles because they only got 2 runs on the board. So defense, a priority in games like this. And that's why they kept him. He can throw, and he's very agile, you know, learning the American League and how to call pitches. But then again, you have a veteran on the mound that pretty much going to call his own game.
We go to the 6th inning. Kevin Millwood, couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. Van Avery had a single first time up.
Yeah, he had the first pitch right back up the middle, and that, you know, for a veteran pitcher like Kevin Millwood, that's an information pitch. So he still came back with one. He thought he got the corner. Now they're going to go in.
That'll miss 2-0.
Yeah, slider. That slider by Kevin Millwood is very much like the cutter slider that Josh Beckridge was calling. Even though I see Veritek putting down 3, so that's usually the slider sign. So maybe Beckett all of a sudden is throwing another pitch.
2-0 count. Van Every. Second base. Wigginton.
There comes and get it. Well, what did Dave Tremblay said? You know what? I saw him play second base in the minor leagues, and of course that's what he played with Tampa and whatever. He said he knows how to go get the ball, and it looks to me that he's more comfortable. The more reps you get out there, obviously you'd like to have Brian Roberts and maybe Wigginton playing other positions, but he's done a pretty good job.
Done a great job out there.
Great.
One down.
Not to mention a great two-seam fastball that Van Every rolls over. I mean, that's not the kind of count you want to get into, but he makes a great pitch. Look at the pitch.
That's a great line, isn't it? You want to stay in that 14 to 16 range. Well, obviously, you take 3 or 4, but you're trying to stay around that 14 mark. 15.
Well, especially the way he pitches, because he really, when he used to throw in the mid-90s. Now he throws, I think, the most velocity, and that tells you the whole story, 91. So he's around the edges, and he's using all his pitches and adding and subtracting and then pulling the cutter and turning it over.
And getting first strikes.
Yeah.
When he can do that, that average drops down for opponents by about 30 points. Scudero, 0 for 1, hit into a double play and has drawn a walk. Down to third. Miggy's got another tough play. He's on the line. Need that gun. And he got it.
Well, Miguel Tejada's arm is like going down the road and having an engine with a turbocharger. So again, we're all right here, high breaking ball. So again, the angles, the X's. Do you go in? You go back? And again, there's your turbocharged arm right there. Mike Bordick said it's like you put an X. You either go to your left on an angle, to your right on an angle, in on an angle, or to your left on an angle coming in. And I think he's learning how to do that.
He can play right field. Well, at least with the arm.
Or Roberto Clemente. Well, you could play it here.
Easy.
Yes. Chris Sabo played here, who would never play the outfield. And I said, Chris, how are you going to play right field? He said, easy. I'm going to turn around and play it off the wall.
And if it goes into the well, I'm going to flip it to the center field.
Exactly.
Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia has singled and was denied a hit on a real fine play in the 4th inning. Little roller out in front.
Well, you got to stay down here. Kevin Millwood knows this as well as anybody. High ball hitter. One of the advanced scouts in the press room said, I don't understand why everybody doesn't pitch Dustin Pedroia down and away. I said, because you can't do it. Not everybody can command down and away. We saw that last night. 24 hits, 9 home runs.
Pedroia's got a 2-ball, 1-strike count, .291 batting average coming into the ball game. He has had 14 extra base hits, 5th most in the American League. 2-1 and strike.
Ooh, yeah. Well, you know what? And here's the deal. Pedroia, he knows this ball's outside, which it is. But if you complain, it doesn't change the count. So you have to deal with reality. Reality is that the home plate umpire called it the strike. Now, does that make his manager happy? No.
2-2 delivery on the way to him. Pedroia will take that one. 2 of the best day averages are in this ball game. Dustin Pedroia, 407 in day games. That is 5th. Miguel Tejada is hitting .526 in day games. That is the #1 average in the American League in day baseball. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Pedroia. 2 down, nobody on. Right field. Marquez. Another good inning. Retires the side at order. 1, 2, 3. Down at third base. You need some help, D. local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford. Drive one. Great day to be on the Inner Harbor here at the ballpark. Summer day on this Sunday. 87 when we started. Humidity up a bit. It's baseball weather. And a good ball game. Tight again. 2-1. Orioles on top. Wigginton, Tejada, and Luke Scott against Beckett, who was walked none and struck out 4. And that one fisted first base. Lowell over and will make the play.
And Wigginton's going, hit me, come on. You already done it twice. Don't jam me, hit me.
One down. Miguel Tejada single, grounded out.
Yeah, you know Beckett's not. His intentions are not to give up any more runs and take his chances. I mean, you're going to have to earn them. Same thing with Millwood.
1-0 in his 6th start. Millwood 0-3 in his 6th start. Millwood has half the better ERA of Beckett, but Beckett's got the win. Here's Tejada. Single, run scored, and he is grounded out. Reimold and Hughes have the RBIs for the Orioles. That is in there for a strike. Okay, so if you were asked the most hated baseball team and the most loved baseball team, who would you select? We get everything nowadays. That's up the middle and a base hit. Tejada's 2 for 3.
Yeah, how about that poll?
Nielsen ratings did a poll, and the Wall Street Journal did a story on it, on the most hated and most loved, most popular teams was the term used. And you got to believe the Yankees are going to be at the top, right? Wouldn't you? Or the Red Sox? Most disliked team?
Maybe the Dodgers.
Maybe the Dodgers. The Red Sox are second in most disliked to the Cleveland Indians.
Well, now, but did they go? Where'd they ask the question? I guess that's the real important thing. Did they go? They go to a team that used to sell out all the time. They used to, went to 5 or 6 straight division things, and now
I don't know where they. I don't know who they questioned what their selected group was. But that's what it came out. Cleveland. I mean, what has Cleveland ever done to anybody? Not much.
No. Boy, beat my Yankees in 1954 when I was 9 years old.
So you were in this screening group.
I would have voted.
You would have voted for Cleveland. Yeah. The Red Sox were second. Cleveland was first. The Yankees were 4th. That's really strange. Well, the Cincinnati Reds were 3rd, and the Astros were tied for 4th.
Oh, so they must have just gone to that city and said, are you disgruntled with the way your franchise is going? Where did we rank? 9th or 10th, I think.
The Orioles were 8th. Most disliked. Least popular. The most popular teams. This is even more inexplicable. Luke Scott, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Tejada. Were the Giants and the A's the most popular? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, I could see the Giants because they're playing well and they got a beautiful ballpark. And Oakland's played the same arena since 1968, and they're a small market team that has been struggling the last couple of years. So maybe their fan base is again disgruntled.
I'm not sure about that study.
Yeah,
I have to go back.
But I mean, it's all over. It was everywhere.
I know.
And then people run with it.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Scott fouls it off.
But as far as studies, years ago, before I moved to Palm Beach in the winter, I was in Key Biscayne, which is a delightful place right out, a little key outside of Miami, and it's like January 10th. It's about 78 degrees, and the sun's out, and I'm getting ready to go to the beach and play tennis and golf and bike and all that. And they have Miami Herald says they've done a study that Pittsburgh is the best place to live in the world, based on economics and education and culture and all those. And Pittsburgh has a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And what I really look forward to is a couple of days later on the weekend when they had all the letters to the editor of people that had moved from Pittsburgh to Miami. So again, it depends on the basis of the poll.
Of course, all polls. It's how it's done.
I mean, one year they had a writer here when we weren't playing well early on that took the 5 guys that hated Earl Weaver, and he went to those 5 guys, and he said 80% of the Oriole players said Weaver's doing a horrible job, but he picked the right guys to go to.
It's the trouble with extrapolation.
Yeah.
That one is going to miss, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Scott. 1 down, runner at first base.
That sounds like Portuguese to me.
Extrapolation? No. It's like tilapia. It's a whitefish.
Oh, I know it is. It's a farm-fed fish that tastes good, but you don't want to eat. Unless you don't know that you're eating it, and then it tastes pretty good, like I said. Or better choices, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Talk about dangling participles. Runner back to first base. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Scott. The Orioles have the 2-1 lead, trying to add to it here against Beckett. And Tejada trying to draw his attention over there with Lowell holding the bag.
Well, you think that, I think Josh is just thinking maybe if he's trying to get a jump 3-2 because he may be running here, you would think that they may let him go. It won't be a steal. It's just trying to stay out of the double play.
Scott waiting. First move not going. Scott will foul it back. Luke hitting at 192. The 3 homers and 8 RBIs among the 14 hits he's picked up so far on the season. And Luke will try and heat it up. Moving into May. Veritek looking over into the dugout. Even the veteran catcher gets these signs from the dugout on the throws over to first base, step off. I mean, Beckett can do some of that on his own, obviously, but the dugout will also signal out. 3-2 count. Tejada was not going on the last pitch.
Yeah, that could be the hip, too, that
Nor is he here, and no chance. 5 strikeouts for Beckett. Scott retired. He struck out twice.
Well, again, we told you about the good numbers, Luke, off of Beckett, but not today. Not swinging well over the last, or really the first month. And again, a pitcher that's 3-2. If you take that pitch, it's a ball. But again, when you're struggling, it's hard to do that.
4th inning with a 25. That's when the Orioles had 2 runs on 3 hits. Nolan Reimold, an RBI and a fielder's choice, and he is grounded out. Still looking for his first lifetime hit off Beckett. He is 0 for 8. 2 6-0 for the Orioles, 1 3-0 for the Red Sox. Kevin Millwood has held Boston to the home run by Veritek to the run. Van Avery, Pedroia have singles. 2 veteran pitchers locked up in a good outing here on Sunday. Veritek sets up way outside. Here's the 1-0. That's where the pitch is, and it's 2-0. The old difference a day makes. 21 runs, 24 hits combined in the ball game last night.
Well, these guys are making some great pitches. I mean, Beckett struggled early, like you mentioned, that 25 pitch inning. But it looks like, again, he's, after giving up 15 runs in 10 innings his last 2 starts, he's really settled down.
2-0 delivered.
Yeah, look at that pitch.
Got that one. There were 9 home runs in the ball game last night, and that is the 9th time in Oriole history that they have been involved in a ball game where there have been 9 or more home runs. Last time was in 2008 against the Yankees. Kevin Millwood not having any of that so far in this ball game. The Veritek homer, but that's the only one.
Yeah, you sit on the bench thinking, okay, Drew's leading off. Now I got him out the first time, and you know who you're going to face.
He went around. Home plate umpire calls it.
Actually, if that doesn't bother his elbow, that slider or whatever, I mean, they put it out on the board as a fastball, but that ball moved about 2 feet. It could be fairly effective. I just wonder when he hasn't, at least I haven't seen him throw it very much, if that'll affect his fastball command. But boy, it breaks sharply.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Kevin Millwood getting down near that fan, as you saw. Here's the 2-2. Again, set up outside. Reimold goes with the pitch to right field. J.D. Drew. And he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on, 6 complete at Camden Yards, and a real good ball game. ball games decided by 3 runs or less in their last 11. The Orioles are 4-6 in 1-run games. Red Sox 6-4. Both teams playing very tight games this year. First ball hitting center field. Back goes Jones at the wall. Up and show me the ball. Goodbye home run. J.D. Drew has done it again, leading off the 7th inning, tying the ball game.
Well, he hit 2 on Friday night. They just got a ball up on a day when the ball's blowing out. But again, right down the middle, up outside middle, and then this guy can launch him. And it looks like it might be catchable, and just over the outstretched glove of Madam Jones, who got back to the wall. Tie ball game.
5 runs, home runs for Drew and his 14th RBI. So he has not had the average, but he has had production.
Well, what did we talked about why they signed him? Plays right field well, great on base percentage. .399 for the last 6 years.
Back to the mound, Millwood's got it.
And the other part of the equation for Theo Epstein is the fact he's got power, and we've seen it. 3 home runs in this weekend series. Double last night to go with it.
3 of the 5 in the year. Visit the official online shop of the Orioles, Orioles.com. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, latest apparel, memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Orioles.com shop. J.D. Drew with 4 RBIs in these 3 games now with those 3 home runs barred up in the pen. Here's Ortiz. He has popped out and walked. .360 average with 3 home runs, lifetime off Kevin Millwood. The Orioles now with the 2 home runs by the Red Sox, Varitek and Drew in this game, have been out homered here at Camden Yards this year, 24-13 by opponents. Well, the long ball has been used against the Orioles so far here at home.
Well, you're getting back into one of those hitters counts. And, again, Kevin Millwood, it seems like at least everybody says, well, Ortiz can't hit anything over 93 to 94. How about 91?
A towering pop-up right in the middle of the infield.
Come help. Get some help.
Tejada. Whoa. Falling down, but he's got it.
Looks like they're circling the wagons there.
That's like dropping one from the Astrodome.
Well, he's playing really deep because of the shift, so he's got to come a long way. I mean, Craig Tatum goes out. Look at Tatum. But the wind is blowing. The ball's going to blow away from him. Little snow cone. Okay, I got it. I think I have it. Yes.
I know.
Nice plays. Very nice.
Good play.
Well, you got a veteran. Now, you give up a home run you didn't want to give up, and what does he do? He settles right down, makes a good pitch. He gets Ortiz and Lowell out.
Here's Beltre. Beltre has hit into a double play and grounded out. 5th best average in the American League coming into today's play. 8-game hit streak. During the streak, he's gone 15 for 32 during the streak, including 5 for 11 here in this series against the Orioles.
I think they expected a little more power there.
Beltre down the line. Markakis. He's got it. So the leadoff homer and then a 1-2-3. J.D. Drew hitting the home. for Kevin Millwood after the catch by Tejada.
He wouldn't be laughing if he dropped it. Of course, you know that.
That's good. Great shot.
Oh, autograph. Look at that.
Look at the autograph.
Who is that? Ryan Hughes? No, I don't know. One year I got all the whole pitching staff to autograph a ball. And then I had to ask each one of them, or collectively, which autograph was which. Very few autographs are legible.
It's true.
For major leaguers. I think it's almost like, okay, I can outdo you, and Jeter's sought after. A series of big circles, and it's.
You have no idea?
No.
The Oriole bird autograph is very legible. That one is fouled back by Ryan Hughes. Hughes has an RBI double, and he is struck out. Reimold has the other RBI for the Orioles. 2 home runs by the Red Sox, Varitek and Drew. The Orioles are trying to sweep this 3-game set from the Red Sox. They've already won their first series of the year, winning the first 2. They've won the last 3 games against Boston. And they're trying to have a successful homestand. Victory here would make it a 4-2 stand. They are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Hughes, Tatum, and Lugo. 2 starters still working. 0-2 delivery. Stays that way.
Yeah, pitch count now at 99. Hughes with the ball right over the bag. He did throw the ball right by him. You would think you might want to try to strike him out in, but the problem is you better get it in.
0-2 delivery to him, in and low.
And then again, we talked about how Amber was talking about how Nick Markakis, as you look at the bullpen, Shonen Weiss on the right, Bard already up now for the 2nd inning. He's loose, especially in this weather. But again, I am sure they watched the way Phil Hughes pitched Ryan Hughes, and that was a lot of curveballs. And Beckett has a good one.
1 ball, 2 strike count.
And there's another one that misses.
Yep. Beckett in his starts this year has gone in descending order of starts. Pitches thrown 83, 114, 106, 105, and 94. Pitch counts for him in the previous 5 starts.
Well, he is, again, the Red Sox talk about, how well conditioned he is. Same with John Lester. 115 pitches is not going to bother him, even in this heat, because he's trained for that.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Hughes is strikeout victim number 6.
Well, the hitter tells you how they're reacting to your fastball. So when you have a good one, it doesn't mean you throw it in the middle of the plate, but throw him a couple of curveballs. You have a young hitter. He's been really pitched to the last week. He's gotten his hits. Well, right there, he just swings through it. It's a little bit in. 94, which tells you he's not tired. He's been pitching a 90, 91 over the last couple innings, and there's a little extra.
Greg Tatum's had an 0 for 2. He has struck out and flied out. Both the bullpen and the starters are ranked 12th for the Red Sox in ERA. Third base, and Beltre's got it, and he caught it. Third base umpire Bill Miller says, yep, that was on the fly. 2 down.
Yeah, first thing he does when he snares that is turn around and look at Bill. This is, again, ball rip. Gold Glover gets it. He takes a look at him. He's ready to throw. Once again, the exmo of just. There you go. Pretty good range. Ball hit very firmly.
Well, there are 2 quick outs. Here's Lugo. He is singled and struck out. And Lugo will take it away for a ball. Orioles pitching right there with the Red Sox, almost exactly the same. 4.81 ERA. The Red Sox 4.89 overall. Bullpens 11th and 12th in the league in earned run average. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Lugo will pop that one up right field. J.D. Drew meanders. 1-2-3 inning. 5 in a row retired by Beckett. We've completed 7, and the Orioles and Red Sox are knotted at 2.
120 feet, and then eventually he'll have to go through a minor league rehab assignment. So ultimately, if everything goes perfect, he still could be 4 to 5 weeks out, Gary.
Long time, and you don't make any decisions based on that. If you're Dave Tremblay of the Orioles, you just go forward as though he's not here.
And that's what he's done. The same thing Dave Tremblay talking before the game, that when Andy McPhail told him that Brian Roberts would be out, you don't want to move on, but you have to.
Yep. Great matchup. Millwood works here to Varitek. Jason Varitek delivered his 5th home run of the year. Came in the 5th inning, solo shot. Drew had the other, accounting for the Red Sox runs. Red Sox continue to rely on that home run for their hits, as they did last night and as they have done all season.
And that'll change a little bit when Ellsbury gets back. Terry Francona said hopefully within 10 days. And then the cracked ribs or broken ribs.
The 0-1 delivery on the way to him. Millwood misses inside. Kevin has walked 2 and has struck out 4 in the ball game. Red Sox have left 1 man on base. That was in the 1st inning. Pedroia got stranded at 2nd. A double steal with a throw out at 3rd. Big play early in the ball game. The Orioles in the ball game last night stranded 1 base runner in the whole game. The big bats getting the job done last night and getting people home. That 1 runner left on happened only once all last year against Seattle. Ball game in July. 2-1 delivery on the way, and Millwood trying to get it inside, asking where it was. Saw him signal with his hand. Was it high? Count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, high all afternoon. Again, the pitch count not that accelerated, but a very warm afternoon. Tough ball game because of the score.
Just came in at him right there, boy. 3-2.
Yeah, he throws a slider and just hopes that the movement will fool Jason Varitek, and he swings right through it. Wasn't that located, but he's probably looking fastball, and just the change in the pitch selection fooled him.
Varitek at 333 now and 9 RBIs. 3-2 delivery to him, and he started. Tatum wanted to check at 3rd. Unplayed umpire Fairchild's not going to give it to him, and there's the leadoff walk. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So Kevin Millwood checking with his infielders now on coverage.
Yeah, you would think this is going to be a bunt play, and of course, if you're pitching, balls hit back to you, you turn around, you know who's covering. Potential double play.
McDonald up, squares, takes it up high. Charging at 1st and 3rd. Lugo going to cover at 2nd base, and Wigginton heading over to 1st.
And you got a pretty good sense about Craig Tatum, who's had a good afternoon behind the plate. Right now he's going to go out and talk to him because the stuff's getting a little bit up. And, again, the pitch count right around 90. Hot afternoon. Tough game. This is a lot of managers will let a guy swing away here because you do know they're anticipating the bunt. You can look for a fastball, even though you do. I still think that Darnell McDonald is a young player because, at least from a major league experience stance.
Has 1 sacrifice, squares very early. Millwood will play it. Wigginton will cover. It is a sacrifice. Puts the runner down at 2nd base with 1 away. 1-4 on the putout. Varitek's down at 2nd, representing the potential go-ahead run. Late in a ball game like this, they're thinking about a pinch runner. And he wants to use Victor Martinez here as the pinch hitter. He'll hit for Van Every. Both catches are now in the ball game for the Red Sox. Varitek out there chatting away with Wigginton and Lugo, resting comfortably on 2nd base.
Yeah, Martinez, who's a terrific hitter, but to this point, not against right-handed pitching. I think that's just a monthly aberration. 11 for 62 against right-handers, 177. This guy's $299 lifetime hitter with, that sprays the ball. Yeah, Rick Granite's out. what do you want to do?
Millwood taking a long walk towards second base, and Kranitz decided wanted to go out and check here.
Of course, he's 6 for 16. That's 375 lifetime against Kevin Millwood.
Bowman up in the bullpen for the Orioles, the left-hander, with Scudero, then Pedroia due up. So Martinez will come on. Van Every had a single and grounded out in the 2 chances he had. Martinez, right-handed, hitting .391, but only .177 from this side of the plate.
And that's going to change, unfortunately, if you're an Oriole fan. I don't know right about now, but you know. I mean, the Red Sox don't have a chance if he doesn't hit. And he's hit every year.
Martinez will stand in a 2-2 ball game, and the potential go-ahead run on at second base. 1 down. Swings through the fastball. Strike 1. Martinez at 273 last year off lefties and 316 against right-handers.
Yeah, they want the guy that when he came over, the Red Sox hit 336 last year. And it seemed like he worked the count, and when you pitched him away, he'd find a gap. No occasional home run power. I mean, he can hit 20 a year easily.
Martinez 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. No chance on either of those, and the count goes to 2 strikes.
Well, a little extra. I think the first one a fastball. That one's just kind of a backup slider that just kind of sails, and Victor Martinez swings right through it.
Martinez 1 for 8 in this series. Couple of RBIs for him. Pretty good average after an 0-2 count. Hit 250. It's generally lower than that.
186 is the league average.
0-2 way outside. Millwood just wanted that a little closer, trying to get him to chase. Missed with it, and a ball and 2 strikes on Martinez.
What I look at, you know, obviously the average, and it's again 299 lifetime, but he has never struck out 80 times, and we're talking 500, 520, 540 appearances at the plate. So he's a high average contact hitter, which is what he's going to try to do here.
1-2, Varitek off second base. It's time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates tonight. Kevin Millwood with another outstanding start for the Orioles. Brian Hughes, who's had an RBI double in the game, and J.D. Drew, who has delivered his 5th home run in this ball game. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball game in the balance now, and again, as has happened so often for both teams, it comes down to the late innings. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Just missed outside, having leaning and looking. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, good hitters, they know the strike zone, even if you're coming off the bench. I mean, he knew right out of his hand that ball was not going to backdoor and hit the outside corner. He takes it.
Kevin Millwood pacing on this hot afternoon. Varitek will have to wait. Toronto's won their ball game 9-3 over Oakland today in division play. Toronto's won their 13th. Now they're at 500. Yankees have exploded on the White Sox 12-0. They're in the 8th inning. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Martinez again. So after he got ahead a couple of strikes, 3 out of the strike zone, and he wants to talk to Tatum. 3-2, 1 away. Kevin Millwood has been the master performer here in the 6 starts he's made for the Orioles. And it's just been very tough run support of 2.5 a ball game not to have at least 1 W up there. 0-3 and struggling, not struggling, but having to battle here in a 2-2 game in the 8th inning. Varitek getting off second. 3-2 delivery. Martinez pops it up. Center field. Victory goes to Millwood on that at bat, and there are 2 down.
Well, it's just amazing. I mean, some high sliders, but that one he gets in on his fist. He just is able, at least so far this afternoon, to make the big pitch when he needed to.
So now there are 2 down, and that'll bring up Marco Scutaro. Now Scutaro for the Red Sox has been better than any of the regulars with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .348 on the year in those situations. He's got Veritek out there at second base and 2 down.
And one of the big plays of the game, if you go back to the 3rd inning, Terry Francona starts the runner, Van Every, who had singled, and he hits a line drive right at Lugo, who, because Van Every was running, was covering second base. Otherwise, the ball goes into center field.
And he just tagged out the runner for the double play.
If they don't send the runner, that ball's into center field. I mean, well, we used to always say, the hit and run, only one good thing can happen. And a lot of negatives, and that was one of them.
1-0 count, 2 away. Veritek, of course, now goes on contact. That'll be down low. And he falls behind. 2-0 on Scutaro. Scutaro with a 5-game hit streak. He has not extended in this game with the 0 for 2 and a walk. He has 4 hits and 28 at-bats lifetime against the Orioles' Kevin Millwood. Pedroia is on deck. Millwood 2-0. Outside corner, strike 2-1. If you like tight ball games, follow these 2 teams around. You got a pretty good chance of seeing them, even when they combine for the 21 runs. Like last night, it's only a 3-run differential. 2-1 delivery on the way. Fastball's right there. 2-2.
You know, I asked Kevin Millwood, when did you first start learning how to get a guy out 1, 2, 3 different ways? He said, well, I learned early because I was with Smoltz and I was with Maddox and I was with Glavine. I got a chance to watch them. Got 2 great pitches, 2-0. Young pitchers, they aim for the middle of the plate. Scutaro, who's one of the leading RBI guys for him because of his runners in scoring position numbers.
2-2, and it's going to go full. 34,255, 34255 the announced attendance. And they are seeing a heck of a ball game and enjoying the summer like Sunday here at Camden Yards. Hope you are too. Veritek. There he is at second. 3-2 count, 2 down. And walked it.
Well, I got to say that Chad Fairchild has done a terrific job behind the plate. He has established the strike zone. Most of the time this ball will be called a strike, but not this afternoon. And well, you've gotten other pitches to make up for it.
So Pedroia, 2 on and 2 down. Both base runners in the inning reaching via the walk. Pedroia has singled, tapped out, and a good play made by Tatum and flied out to right field. Pedroia with 2 on and a .294 average with runners in scoring position. Fans having their own battle in the stands cheering wise.
Well, that base hit was a very, very good 2-strike slider that he just poked up the middle for the base hit.
That was back in the first inning. 1-0 delivery on the way. Even if Pedroia gets a base hit, bear in mind it is Veritek who's the lead runner, and he is not fleet of foot. Outfielders know that. Even though he takes off on contact, if the ball's hit hard, could have a play. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pedroia fouls it back, 1-2.
Yeah, normally you look at a guy like Pedroia, you go, well, we can really shorten up to the opposite field. But if you watch the game Friday night, he went into the seats, just left of the scoreboard. So you can't really shorten up that much because the ball over his head's going to score 2 runs. I mean, you're obviously concerned with the go-ahead run. But if you cheat, he'll take advantage of it.
4 innings, the leadoff man has been on against Kevin Millwood in the ball game. Only one that scored was a leadoff homer by Drew in the 7th. Up to 108. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pedroia waiting. The pitch swung on. That's going to be into left field. Here comes Reimold. Here comes Varitek. Here comes the throw to the plate. Tatum, and he is out. Nolan Reimold. They decided to test his arm, and Reimold got it in. Varitek circling from second base. The potential go-ahead run denied. It remains 2-2. And Reimold did right here.
Again, getting healthy, you know, the off-season surgery to the Achilles tendon. And then there a strong throw. Varitek, you called it. Not great speed, even going on contact. Pedroia hit a nice slider and just served it into left.
And that's going to be it for Beckett, so he is going to be non-decisioned in this ball game. And Bard comes on to pitch.
Yeah, we saw him on Friday night through the third blown save on a tremendous home run by Tejada to left field on a fastball 94 right in the middle of the plate. Jones took him deep up in Boston, and then on Sunday came in throwing 100 miles per hour and struck out the side.
Hall comes into the ball game into left field. Bill Hall will play left with Van Avery coming out for a pinch hitter. McDonald will go from left to center. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kevin Millwood's got a chance to be the winning pitcher. The Orioles bullpen had been ready to go. Millwood will watch here as the Orioles will try and get that go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th, and they have the top of the order. Jones, Marquegas, and Wigginton due up against Bard. Jones grounded out, struck out, singled in the ball game, and that is outside for a ball. 1-0 count. 2-6-0 for the Orioles, 2-5-0 for the Red Sox. It's a real good ball game. Jones trying to get on to get it started. 1 for 2 off Bard. Home run. And that is a strike. Watch the play at third base. Tim Bogart's third base coach. He almost held Varitek up. He's thinking right there, no. And then, okay, go ahead. Makes a decision. It's a very tough decision at third base right there for any third base coach to make. The 1-0 is outside. You're trying to measure everything. You've already gone over the outfielders in your mind. Juan Samuel does that before every series and every game. Who's playing the outfield? Who's got the strong arms? Where are they playing in this hitter? All kinds of factors so that when you got to make that split-second decision, you pretty much know which way you're going to go with it. That's part of being a third base coach.
Yeah, he forced him into making a perfect throw, and he did.
Yep. 2-1 delivery to Jones. Swung on and missed. Bard throttled back on that one.
Yeah, that's that slider, breaking ball, swerve. Power arm. And again, can you throw something else other than a fastball? And a fastball count. You could see already, look at the left hip of Adam. I mean, it's already gone because he's looking something other than the breaking ball.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Jones. Outfield shaded way over to right. Here's the 2-2. And he goes that way, and he's got a base hit. So the Orioles start the 8th inning with a leadoff single. Bringing up Nick Markakis.
Well, if Daniel Bard's not going to throw 99 to 100, he's got to make better pitches. Otherwise, good hitters like Adam Jones again hitting righties much better, and hitters like Markakis are going to take advantage of it.
Millwood, after his first win of the year.
Pretty simple. Just get him some runs here and hope the bullpen can come in and pitch the bottom of the top of the ninth. Well,
Nick Markakis, a single, run scored, flied out, hit into a double play. Jones making sure Bard has to look over there to take some of the attention away.
Again, you would think it's a good running situation. I don't know if they'll run early on. Maybe don't want to take away the hole for Nick Markakis, even though he's not really that much of a pull hitter.
Markakis 0 for 3 off Bard. Only times he has faced him. Jones shortens his lead. Markakis takes it. Ball 1. Bard against the Orioles this season. This is the 4th game he's appeared in. He's given up 3 runs in 2 2/3 innings. One 0 count to Markakis. Outfield deep. That one towards left center field. McDonald over, not going to have a play. Base hit. Markakis is on, 2 on, and nobody out. So Bard surrenders singles to the first 2 he faces. 2-hit ball game, 2 for 4 for Markakis.
Well, Terry Francona went for the gum. I wonder what Dave Tremblay's going to talk about.
Wigginton up with nobody out. Tie game, 8th inning. He's been hit by a pitch twice and popped out.
Yeah, fastball breaking ball.
Let's see what the decision here is by Dave Tremblay. Beltre moves in a bit at third. Wigginton, no sacrifices on the year. Obviously, has been the Orioles' best hitter. Shows bunt, drops one. It's a beautiful bunt. Veritek makes the play, but Wigginton gets the sacrifice.
Well, I'd like to have his short game on the golf course because that ball backs up. 60-degree wedge. They'd like to get it on the ground, but as it turns out, it's in kind of in no man's land. I mean, look at him pop this up and watch the backspin. And then Veritek, as we've seen Craig Tatum this afternoon, pounces on it. An awfully nice play to get the sacrifice by Ty Wigginton.
So now 2 in scoring position. John Farrell up. The pitching coach for the Red Sox, Miguel Tejada's coming to the plate. Orioles with a very good chance here to get a lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, nobody up in their bullpen. So if you walked Tejada, they load the bases, and they don't have a left-hander to bring into Scott. It still sets up a double play. I think you got to decide. Do you think he can throw strikes when we talk about Daniel Bard? Do you want to put the pressure of loading him up? I mean, how are you going to play it? It looks like they're going to play the infield. Well, maybe they're going to walk him.
I think they're going to surrender the intentional pass here. Certainly not much of a decision in this game at this moment as to who you want to face.
He almost threw it to the backstop.
The ever-present danger.
Yeah. Well, Tejada's so much hotter than Luke Scott, who is really struggling.
Ball 2. Intentional pass coming up. Tejada gets his first intentional of the year. And Luke Scott, the left-hander, will be batting with the bases loaded. Ball 4.
Well, that's hard. You know, you practice that, but when you're out there, it's so different than anything else you do. It's not, especially when you have a good arm.
So the bases are loaded. 2-2 here in the 8th inning. 1 away. Red Sox infield. They're all looking over to the dugout here. Pedroia's trying to get everybody positioned. He's going to talk to Scudero as the defensive positioning taking place here. They'll move in at first and third, halfway at second and short. So second and short will go for the double play. Second to first. First and third will come home and try and get a double play that way unless the ball's hit really hard. Scott will take it up high for a ball.
And then remember, there has not been one high strike called all day long. And if you look at Luke Scott, he got up about 450 times last year, 104 strikeouts, 116 hits. How many fly balls did he hit? That's what he wants to do here. He would take, you know, most of the time you're mad at yourself. Fly ball of any depth here most likely will score out at Jones with good speed.
Scott takes it. It's in there.
What a pitch that was.
0 for 2 off Bard for Luke Scott. He's had an 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts.
And Gary, that sets up the hole at bat. When Luke Scott sees that Daniel Bard, who can throw 94 to, you know, the upper 90s, drops a curveball off in a fastball count, it changes your mindset. I mean, that's really what pitching's all about if he can do it.
Now they creep in at short and second, and the pitch is up high.
There's 99. Overthrew it a little bit.
Ramirez, Schoenweiss. Tremblay hoping again the Orioles can come through as they did in the ball game last night with big hits. Runners in scoring position. Francona has had to struggle with his bullpen so far. Bard with a 2-1 count. 1 down, bases loaded. Scott, 2-2. Luke's first at bat on the season with the sacks full. Came in the 4th inning when he struck out with the bases loaded. Gets a second chance here in the 8th. Two ball, 2 strike count. Scott will take it.
Oh, that was a nice take. I think he's just trying to try it over. It almost gets the back door. It just hangs outside just a smidgen. And you can see Varitek trying to drag it into the strike zone to get Chad Fairchild to call it.
Jones got a single. Markakis a single. Sacrifice Wigginton. Intentional walk to Tejada. Here's Bard's 3-2 delivery. Scott strikes out.
Wow, terrific pitch. Gave up a fastball hit to Markakis, to Jones, messing around with the changeup and the curveball, and then the high heater at 99 miles per hour. Perfect location. Up and in.
Nolan Reimold. Two down, bases loaded. Reimold has an RBI on a fielder's choice in this ball game. Bear in mind the Orioles do have some lumber on the bench in this game, since the likes of Wieters sitting over there did not start today. Atkins, Montanez, and his Turris available. The 1-0 count. Reimold. 1-1.
Yeah, tough to catch up with a ball that's 99. He threw the last pitch 100.
Bard trying to work his way out of this. The Orioles trying to get the go-ahead run. Kevin Millwood has got to be just going, come on, come on.
Emotional roller coaster.
It is. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Reimold. Takes it. It's there.
Well, Bard
on that one.
Yeah, Bard came up as a starting pitcher, and then they moved him into the bullpen. And I've been reading about, this kid that throws 100, 102 miles per hour. Well, here he is. Came to the big leagues last May, and
some pretty good movement.
Oh, well. Got good stuff. And an array of pitches.
Millwood. Here's the 1-2. Reimold takes it, striking out. So Bard strikes out Scott, and Reimold with the bases loaded. It remains 2. Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. That's what you want to do on a Sunday. Fly a kite. Good day to do it. Let's take a look at our Ford drive of the game. J.D. Drew.
Yeah.
7th inning.
Yeah, 3rd home run of the series. High fly ball. You could see Jones come in and then back and can't quite get it. It was about a foot over his outstretched glove. That gave them their first run, or actually their second run. That would tie the game up after Veritek home.
That's our Ford drive of the game. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Will Oman on to pitch in the 9th.
Well, he's done a nice job. Has not been scored on in those 12 games. Now has given up some inherited runners. And effective against both lefties and righties. The lefties 3 for 14, righties 2 for 10.
And the pitch will be taken for a strike. J.D. Drew with a home run and has struck out twice in the ball game. So the Orioles with a tremendous chance to get a lead. Getting the bases loaded with one away and could not get a run in. That pitch is also there, and the strike goes to 0-2. Drew's only 4 for 30, 133 off left-handers. He does have one home run off southpaws. Oman jumps out in the 2-strike delivery. That'll miss down low. So Kevin Millwood, another day and another no decision and a great effort. He gave up the 2 runs on 5 hits over 8 innings, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. But the 2 hits, 2 of them home runs. Popped up, Tejada, no run. Oriole pitchers now, the home run balls have been rising up against them a bit. The Red Sox have had to use it in order to stay in ball games. The Orioles have given up home runs in 6 consecutive games. 13 home runs in the last 6. 1-2 up high, 2-2. Yankee final 12-3 over the White Sox. So in the division, Toronto's won, Yankees have won, and the Red Sox and Orioles tied up. Tried to stroke that for a base hit and will.
Well, one of the great high ball hitters, especially left-handers. And we saw that with a home run right there, playing very, very deep to take away the extra base hit. Oriole outfielders.
Now let's see how Terry Francona plays it. Here's Mike Lowell, the cleanup batter. He's gone 0 for 3 in the ball game. 3 for 16 this year off left-handers.
Well, they're not anticipating the bunt.
Nope.
Everybody back.
And Lowell does not show bunt and takes it up high for a ball. And now the Red Sox with the leadoff man on here in the 9th inning. Hit number 8 in the ball game. Lowell hit .301 last year off left-handers. Limited playing time this year with a backup role. DH, first and third. Outside corner by the old man, and it goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Lowell. Kevin Millwood going through 8 innings in this ball game on a day when the Orioles needed it, as the bullpen has been extensively used. Here's the throw to first. Back at you tomorrow night, Yankee Stadium, game 1, 3-game set. Jeremy Guthrie, CC Sabathia. 7:05 first pitch, 6:30 for O's extra. One delivery. Lowell unable to catch that one down and away. 1-2.
Yeah, good tailing fastball. Mike Lowell, one of the better high ball hitters, and he uses the whole field. Double machine when he's healthy. First year in Boston, 47 doubles. Next year, RBIs went from 80 to 120, and then the hip problems. Still hitting close to 300.
And came back inside on him. A couple of tremendous pitches there. One away.
Well, can you finish a hitter off? And well, just a little off the breaking ball. Kevin Millwood, who did such a good job of adding and subtracting both with the fastball and the breaking ball, just right there. Great shot of just how far Mike Lowell was out in front.
Now Ortiz, designated hitter, 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. The 0 for 2, he's popped out to third a couple of times. Orioles put the big shift on. First base is Drew. Lugo will cover second if needed here.
And both of the home runs last night were inside middle. The one off of the lefty Alberto Castillo was way in, and then the one that Brad Bergeson left on the inside part of the plate, thigh high inside corner, and he just turned on it.
All 3 of his home runs this season hit off the Orioles. 1 strike count, 1 out. 9th inning. Ortiz, he went around, 0-2. Ortiz 3 for 14 off the lefties this year. 1 home run. Last season, Ortiz batted just .212 off left-handers. 0-2 count on the Red Sox DH. Short lead at first, Drew. And the 0-2 way outside. 1-2. Orioles have left 7, including the bases loaded in the 8th inning. 4 in scoring position in the game. Red Sox have stranded only 3. 2 in scoring position. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him. Ortiz fights it off. These 2 teams play concessionaires delight games. Everybody stays.
Well, every pitch today has had such meaning. Every at bat. Even last night.
Yeah,
last home runs, it seemed. Of course, I've heard of 2 distinctly different styles of baseball.
The Orioles after the sweep today in this 3-game set, having assured themselves of the first series win of the year with a victory last night. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Ortiz taps it foul. The Orioles could win. They'd have a 4-game win streak going against Boston. They've not had that happen since 2004. Dave Tremblay, lineup card, looking back out. Gut-wrenching games. Will Omen again, 1-2. And got him. 2 down.
Yeah, terrific pitch. Enough fastballs and then the bender. Nicely framed. I think David probably thinks it's outside, but look at Greg Tatum just frame it for Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire.
Now Beltre, as hot a hitter as the Red Sox have in the lineup coming into the game. He's 0 for 3 in this ball game. 5 for 12 in the series, hitting at .333 on the year, and that will bring the Oriole manager out. Well, Dave Tremblay will come to the mound. Matt Albers in the bullpen. No decision made, and there's not going to be any. He turns around and walks away. That was the quickest conversation in baseball history. You all right? I'm not even sure he got to ask the question.
Well, if you look at the numbers, and probably even more importantly, if you look at the stuff he has today. Now, you still have to make your pitches, but he gets righties out, he gets lefties, throwing the ball well, good breaking ball, good finishes on his pitches. Albers had pitched in 3 straight nights, so he had last night off. So, again, this looks like it may go into extra innings. At least a chance of it.
And Beltre's numbers are better against right-handers. Pitches away. He's hitting 273 off lefties. Nothing wrong with that, but he's hitting 371 off right-handers.
But again,
runner at first, 2 down.
Yeah, but the bottom line of this move is that he's got to get him out, right? Because the last thing you want him to do is get tentative. And we know Beltre, as you mentioned, most of the hits though up the middle and to right field, but he's a strong guy. And look at that pitch, right side corner. Yeah, he's looking for ball inside, especially when the count in his favor, something that he can lean on.
Will Omen trying to bear down here and keep this game tied going to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Omen appearing in his 3rd game against the Red Sox. He's worked an inning, has given up nothing. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Great pitch, and Beltre fooled on it. 1-2.
Well, a sharp slider, the tilt to your slider. In other words, does it go down? And Will Omen able to get it down.
One of the Oriole fans up. One and 2, runner at first, Drew. Runner not going. Beltre. Omen thought maybe, so did Beltre. He just looked down at the ground, hoping.
Well, Will Omen, the elbow problems early on, Tommy John, and then the shoulder problems. He feels that his stuff's a lot better. And at least the numbers indicate that it is.
Count down 2-2. Beltre goes. Tag will be made, and that's that. And Omen strikes out the side here after the leadoff single picked up by Drew. Yeah, Rick, thanks very much. Will Oman out of there. Great job as he got the K's to retire the Red Sox. You know somebody's going to ask after the ballgame about that conversation or lack thereof at the mound when the manager went out. Here's Jonathan Papelbon.
Well, he's their guy, their closer, so you're bringing him in if you're Terry Francona. Stop the door right here. And he's been very, very good, not only this year. I mean, righties are hitting 1 for 18, lefties 7 for 41. A little bit, actually, that's the total number. Lefties 261, so they've hit him a lot better. 7 for 7 in the save department. And against the Orioles, just incredible lifetime numbers. 3 earned runs in 31 innings pitched, even though they did get a run off him. One of those runs came up at Fenway Park last weekend. That's all they need today. And the Orioles will go home winners.
So Francona brings him on right here, hoping to shut the Orioles down and then get a run. Dave Tremblay left Will Oman on to pitch, and that worked. Bottom of the 9th inning, it will be Hughes, Tatum, and Lugo due up. A lot of starters, as we showed you, available to pinch hit if needed. This season, Papelbon against the Orioles in those 2 games gave up a run on 4 hits in an inning and 2/3. But he has, as Jim said, against the Orioles' lifetime, an amazing .87 ERA and 27 saves against the Orioles. Brian Hughes. Strike 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, the guys that they've seen, you got Beckett throwing anywhere from 91 to 96. Then you bring in Bard, who hit 100. And then you have Papelbon. And the one thing that I noticed, and, he talked about it after he didn't pitch as well as he'd like against the Angels in the playoffs. He was going to use more pitches, and he did up in Boston. He used the splitter a little bit more.
And we'll take that one inside. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hughes with an RBI double in the 4th inning. Reimold in the same inning, an RBI and a fielder's choice. The only run scored by the Orioles. The Red Sox, a Veritek homer in the 5th and a Drew home run in the 7th. And that's where we are, 2-2 in the bottom of the 9th. Brian Hughes, 1-1 from Papelbon. That'll be outside. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
And he's not going to get any high strikes. That has been well documented.
Red Sox have played in 10, decided by a run. Tied with the Orioles for that number. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Hughes. And he takes it in the air to right field. That's in the yard. Goody Drew. 1 down in the 9th. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. So far, Kevin Millwood on top. You can text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The results coming up in the O's Extra post-game show. Here's Matt Wieters coming out to pinch hit for Tatum.
Found a big 3-run home run last night. That was the left center field.
Wieters and Papelbon will go at it here. For Matt Wieters, 2 for 4 off Papelbon. First 3-run homer of the season for the Orioles. Came off his bat in the 5th inning. We are tied at 2. Wieters will take the pitch. It is in there for a strike. The series played in Boston. The games were losses by the Orioles, 4-3 and 7-6. A 10-inning win, 7-6. And then here the Orioles won the first game in 10 innings, 5-4. And last night, 12-9. All of them tough ball games.
Seems like the whole month of April is tough ball games.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
not likely to change.
Maybe one game in Oakland, 8-3. It's kind of like a laugher.
1-ball, 1-strike count on Wieters. Wieters takes that one to center. Back, warning track, not going to get it. Ground rule double. McDonald did not get a good read on that one, and the Orioles get a runner to second.
Yeah, if you're playing, and he was playing deep, if you think, and the hardest ball at you is two-seamer, full effort right here, two-seamer away, and Matt Wieters loves the ball out over the plate and wants the ball when the wind is blowing out, and we saw that on the fly ball that Drew hit for the home run. Ball's not going to come down. It's going to keep going. And McDonald misjudged it, gets over his head. And now you need a base hit. Well, you need more than that because Wieters doesn't run particularly well either.
In 33 appearances against the Orioles, Papelbon has never lost a game. He has 2 wins and those 27 saves. Julio Lugo. Lugo will punch that one back. After this, the Orioles move on. Our broadcast tomorrow night, the first of 3 in New York. Jeremy Guthrie against CC Sabathia. Our coverage 6:30 O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer. Game coverage, Masson HD at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson. The irony again, this happened in Boston. Lugo's being paid more money by the Red Sox than he is by the Orioles. And again, he gets a chance to have a game-winning hit against the Red Sox. Pretty good lead at second. And fouled that one back in a 2-strike count. Not holding Wieters. They've spread out the middle. The shortstop, Scudero, and second baseman, Pedroia, way off the bag. So Wieters able to get a pretty good lead.
And then the outfield very, very shallow. McDonald's, there's your center fielder. He's shifted around. Drew in there. He's in case any balls hit on one hop. It's very difficult to score here at Camden Yards, even if you have fast runners at second base. When balls hit the right field.
Lugo, the 0-2 count. 1 for 4 off Papelbon. Lugo fights it off down the line. That'll be in the seats.
Well, that fastball at 97. It was warm enough before these guys started.
It was.
Getting it even hotter. Some serious heat from the Red Sox pitching staff this afternoon.
2-strike count on Lugo. Wieters, the potential winning run on at second. Orioles with a chance to sweep the 3-game series. They can get one here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Papelbon, the 2-strike pitch. Lugo in the air, left field, going back is Hall, and he's got room. Wieters back to the bag. 2 down.
Yeah, I was wondering if he'd throw him a splitter or maybe the slider, which he very rarely throws, and he does, and he hangs it. Billy Hall, who made a great play to throw out Markakis last Friday night in Boston. He runs it down in deep left center field. And again, playing way off the line, enables him to do that.
Tampa Bay gets a 1-0 win over Kansas City today, breaking a 2-game losing streak for their 18th win of the year.
Who beat Greinke? Number 40. Nice little matchup. They had a chance to sweep him.
2 outs rather. Runner at second, Wieters. Here's Adam Jones. He'll take the pitch inside for a ball. Jones 2 for 5 off Papelbon. Orioles trying to win it here in the 9th inning. Jones has had 2 singles, 2 for 4, 7 for 13 in this series against the Red Sox, and now has a 4-game hit streak. 1-0 delivery to him. Jones down to third. Beltre gobbles it up. Makes the play, and we're going to go extra. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The end of regulation. inning games. Matt Albers comes on to pitch in the top of the 10th inning.
Yeah, I've been pitching a little bit better. ERA doesn't indicate it. A lot of those runs early on, but sinking the ball. Had a good breaking ball, both against the Red Sox on Friday and then against the Yankees. But just trying to quiet everything down and sink it. Don't try to make perfect pitches, so that hasn't been working. We'll see in a very close game.
Matt Waiter stays in to do the catching. And Lou Montanez will come on to play for Reimold in left field. So we go extra for the second time in this series in 3 games. The Orioles won the openers. They went 10. Miguel Tejada picked up the game-winning RBI in the 10th inning of the Friday night game as the O's won at 5-4. Varitek will be followed by McDonald and Hall. Bottom third of the order. Varitek, though, has delivered a homer, his 5th. Got thrown out at the plate in the 8th by Reimold. Albert's pitch is in there for a strike. Varitek 0 for 3 off the Orioles reliever. So Ullman worked an inning, gave up 1 hit and struck out 3. Millwood 2 runs, 5 hits over 8. He had 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Beckett 2 runs, 6 hits over 7, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Bard an inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. One ball, 1 strikeout on Varitek. Albers will get the foul ball, 1-2.
Yeah, wants to stay not down and in, but down. The first fastball almost hit the back ankle of Jason Varitek, but what I like, he went back on the mound and just took a deep breath and tried to settle himself down. And this is not the easiest of situations. Before you really have to control your stuff and your emotions, and then you have to do it on the fly coming out of the bullpen.
Varitek inside to him, 2 ball, 2 strike count. Red Sox have lost to the Yankees in extra innings, Tampa Bay, and the Orioles twice. Their win came in a 12-inning ball game against Texas. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Varitek, towering fly ball to center. Jones, 1 out. Orioles head to New York City to play the 3-game series against the Yankees, while the Red Sox will be moving home. They've got the Angels for 4 and then the Yankees for 3. Ground ball, Tejada can't get it, and Lugo couldn't see it. Tejada tried to make that play. It'll be a base hit for McDonald.
Yeah, breaking ball hitter, so they start him off with a breaking ball. And again, when you're playing the line, and that's what the Orioles have a tendency to do, especially when they move Tejada over by the line. It's a long way to the hole. And of course, the reasoning being that you take away the double, but you do allow the single. We'll see if McDonald, of course, Matt Wieters is about throwing as well as any catcher, 7 out of 15 if you try to run. McDonald with good speed.
This is going to be the first at bat for Bill Hall, hitting 9th. Martinez came on and pinch hit for Van Every, who started in this 9 spot, flied out. So again, the Red Sox have used their 2 catchers in the ball game, with Varitek, the starter, still in. 1 out. Hall hitting at .214, no home runs and RBI. Runner not going. The pitch will be taken for a strike. Scudero waiting on deck, top of the order for the Red Sox. 9 hits for the Orioles, 7 for the Sox in the game. We're in the 10th inning. McDonald in his 12th ball game. He's had just 30 at bats. Does have a couple of home runs, though, as he came on when he first came up to deliver homers and game-winning RBIs. 0-1 count. Castillo in the bullpen for the Orioles. Hall. 0-1 count on him. There goes the runner. Wieters up. Here's the throw. Not in time. A stolen base.
Yeah, got a great jump. Wouldn't have mattered. Even the throw is on the right side of the bag. The second base. I mean, look at that jump and the speed. And of course, that's why the Orioles signed him. He was going to go to Texas as a football player. Figured they could figure out how to use all that natural ability, hone it into baseball skills. Took a while.
Well, he's the potential go-ahead run at second base. He gets his first stolen base and 2 chances on the year. And now Hall has an RBI opportunity. 1 for 5 in these chances. That's all he's had. 2-strike delivery to him. Albers outside, 1-2.
Well, runs at a premium. Orioles had the bases loaded, in the 8th inning? Luke Scott struck out, and then Reimold struck out, and then after the Wieters double, had another couple of opportunities.
Had their chances here in this ball game, more so than the Red Sox. 1-2 delivery, that's outside. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Bill Hall. 8 left by the O's, 4 by the Red Sox. The Orioles have stranded 4, 3 in scoring position in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, Bill Hall in 2005, 35 home runs, hurt that back ankle, the push-off ankle, and then became a role player in Milwaukee.
Not even another one outside. So 3 sliders away, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hottest team in baseball, the Tigers, kept it going. They beat the Angels today 5-1. They've won 5 in a row now for the Tigers. 3-2 delivery and walked it.
Well, we saw Matt Albers again maybe getting a little away from what he does best, trying to get him out with sliders, because that's the scouting report, but couldn't get it over. And then finally goes to the sinker, but it's outside for ball 4.
Rick Kranitz will come out. Marco Scudero at the top of the order, coming up with 2 on and 1 away here in the 10th inning. Scudero has gone 4 for 6 with a home run off Albers. Scudero today get into a big double play in the 3rd inning Jim talked about. He's had a couple of walks, officially 0 for 2. That double play really changed the complexion of the game.
Well, again, when you're going to have, as it turns out for the starters, only a couple of runs scored for both Beckett and Millwood, it's probably 1st and 3rd, and hot day, and the Red Sox looking to get back on the winning side of baseball.
The Orioles have had the defensive plays that have made the difference today. That one in the 3rd inning. Pedroia was thrown out by Tatum, leading off the 4th on a fine play and a little chopper in front of the plate. Outside, Nolan Reimold threw Veritek out in the 8th inning at the plate. Wieters, last 4 pitches way outside.
Well, again, he's trying to do something that he doesn't always do. His best pitch is a sinker, and he's trying to, because of the scouting report, throw the slider, something he worked on in spring training, or the curveball, and not getting it over.
1-0 delivery to him. That's a chopper to short. Chance for 2. There's 1, and there's the double play. Lugo getting it done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on.
with the 2 solo home runs, but again, run support. Boy, he made some great pitches today, as did Josh Beckett. They battled. Look at those numbers. Again, early runs off of Beckett, the 2 solo home runs off of Millwood, and Beckett doing, now he's what, pitched 57 innings, only walked 9 in his career here at Camden Yards. Again, a mirror image of what he usually does here.
Just outstanding performances. Here's Nick Markakis. Markakis 2 for 4 in the game, couple of singles and a run scored. And the pitch is taken inside. Though Jonathan Papelbon will stay on. He gave up the double in the 9th inning. Coming on for Bard, who worked an inning after Beckett pitched 7.
Okajima, the lefty, getting up. Not because they're going to relieve him, but they're hoping once again that he can pitch a scoreless inning and they can win it in the top of the 11th.
Markakis takes the pitch, and that's a strike. Called strike.
There's the grounder.
Markakis just backs off to reconsider. He's 4 for 12 off Papelbon. Nick has had the hot bat and continued it in this ball game, hitting over 400 in the last 10 games. 1-1 delivery to him. The high strike called there. 1-2.
Yeah, Nick hit the ball off the Green Monster in Boston, where Billy Hall made the great play and threw him out in a 1-run ball game. Of course, that same ball may go out of here today because you don't have that 37-foot wall. And Papelbon, he's throwing more sliders than I've seen him in the last 4 years.
Trying to be a starter again. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Markakis on a fastball fouls that one back. Just tried to throw that one by him. Grinding it out. That's what the baseball season's all about. And these two teams have really had to grind out the first month and continued it here in the first couple of games in May. Orioles looking for their 7th win. The Red Sox their 12th. Orioles trying to sweep the series. Red Sox trying to get back to 500. They're 2 games under now. 1-2 strike count on Markakis. And Nick takes it. 2-2.
I mean, they're just trying to stay pace with all the teams in front of them in the American League East that have won this afternoon. You mentioned Toronto won 1-0 Tampa Bay, and the Yankees with 12 runs usually gets it done.
Surrendered 3 late to the White Sox. He just dominated that game. 2-2 with the outfield shaded to left. Markakis on the foul ball. Nick Markakis now with the 2 hits that he has added in the ball game today, 2 for 4. He's gone 12 for 29 against the Red Sox this year so far, with 1 home run and 6 RBIs.
Well, he doesn't have many holes. You know, he's a pretty good breaking ball hitter. I mean, you can get him out if you can get it underneath the strike zone, but the only way you usually do that is with 2 strikes. You know, he's got that up and in hole, but who doesn't? Too many guys hit low and away, up and in, but he hits the ball away with the best of them.
Papelbon, the 2-2 delivery to him, and the count goes full, 3-2.
And then, of course, when you're in a tie ball game and this kind of ballpark with a short porch in right field, if you're going in, you better get it in, and that's why Papelbon, he's more comfortable pitching away. And you could see him just really kind of over-rotate and get that ball well and not even close to the strike zone.
Papelbon's longest outing of the year, a couple of innings. He had against Texas. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Markakis is on, and the Orioles get another chance. A leadoff walk here in the 10th inning. That is the first walk surrendered by Beckett, Bard, Papelbon, the 3 pitchers for the Red Sox.
Now, I guess if you're Dave Tremblay, you got to decide. We saw Wigington with a great sacrifice, and Wiggy was able to do that in the 8th inning to set it up. But who do you want hitting? Because if you bunt him over, you probably won't pitch to Tejada. You'll pitch to Lou Scott, who's really scuffling. I mean, that's worth a shot, I suppose. But as hot as Wigington is, he may not be bunting him.
Nobody out. Orioles need 1 to win it. Wigington fouls it off down the line, no play. Yeah, Wigington off Papelbon, 1 for 4.
And what you hope is that he just doesn't bounce into a double play. Of course, Papelbon, you would think, would be more of a fly ball pitcher because of so many fastballs. And of course, he is throwing some splitters. We saw that up at Fenway, a couple today, and then the hard slider.
Markakis being held at first by Lowell. 1 strike count. Beltre backs up at third. Ooh, he threw it away. Markakis may get 2 out of this. It goes into the seats. It bounded into the seats, and Nick Markakis on the throwing error by Papelbon is down to second base. And the Red Sox may have drawn a break there, because if that ball doesn't go in the seats, Markakis is on third base.
Yeah, again, the inability for this team to hold runners, so you want to keep them real close, and then the Kangaroo hops on the rubberized warning track here. Just kind of hops into the stand. So now all of a sudden things change.
Infield in. Looking for the bunt.
Yeah.
Papelbon charged with the error. Boy, have the Red Sox been piling those up. Nobody out. Way in at first and third. Beltre now on the edge of the grass. May try and hold third. Try and get a play there. It's not a force play. Wigginton's not bunting. Check swing ripped into the seats. Orioles still have some options on the bench if needed.
Yeah, very difficult to get him over now. Obviously, you would like to get him to third. I think Wiggy'd like to. And it's not a secret. Get him in.
Off second base, Markakis. 2 strike count. Wigginton fouls it back.
Yeah, boy, he really got away with a hanger there. It's the one thing when you don't throw a lot of sliders and you lose the tilt because you don't throw them a lot, they become very hittable. And that one, 83, 84, when you're throwing 10 miles per hour harder, the ball usually gets hit hard. It's like just fouled off. Pretty good pitch to hit that Wigginton, who, as hot as he is, misses.
Papelbon 1-1 along with the 7 saves he's had on the year. 7 for 7 in that department. 0-2 count. Markakis off second. The delivery to Wigginton. He ain't being denied his hacks up there.
Well, that's like the perfect pitch. You're trying to strike him out. He doesn't want Wigginton to advance him. Obviously doesn't want him to get a base hit. And they just come up and in. And when you make that kind of pitch, this is why you're having the conference. Because he just made like the perfect pitch. And Wigginton again was able just to get to it. Slider's probably the right pitch, but can you execute it down in the zone?
Wigginton looking for the game-winning RBI with a base hit here. The outfield shortens up a bit, so they might have a play at the plate on a ball that hits in front of them, but they can't go too far in. Markakis big lead at second. The 0-2 delivery. Wigginton again fights it off.
And they play him to right. I mean, Darnell McDonald, he's 3-4 steps into right field. Huge gap out here. I mean, this would be the place if he hangs a slider and he just hits any ball. Nobody's going to get it. I mean, I think it's the right way to play him because you've got a guy throwing in the mid-90s and always try to take away the ball that's slicing. You're not probably going to catch the other one up the gap anyway.
Wigginton, the Orioles RBI leader, 14. Papelbon, here's the 0-2 delivery again, and Wigginton takes it left center field, way back. This ball game is over. Ty Wigginton, the game-winning RBI. Nick Markakis scores, and the Orioles sweep the Red Sox with a 3-2 win.
Well, there you go, hanging slider, and it gets belted. Let's take a look right here. Papelbon needs the strikeout, and that's what he's going for. There it is. Popped up. Strike 1. Strike 2. Hanging slider. Tried to strike him out. Stays alive. Another strikeout pitch. And then the hanging slider speeds up the bat. Nobody playing there. Orioles win.
Matt Albers will get the victory. He is 2-3. Papelbon for the first time beaten by the Orioles. And the sweep is complete. Your final, the Orioles 3 and the Red Sox 2. That's good.